the city streets will not be safe.
Hey, the Dragon's going to be breathing fire right here in Cleveland for the St. Valentine's Massacre. Be there.
Across the nation, it's a time when people are looking for love. But tonight, the most explosive man in wrestling will be seeing red and breaking more than just hearts. Now, Superstation TBS presents
Flash 5, St. Valentine's Massacre.
We'll be there. You be there.
Clash of the Champions 5, the St. Valentine's Massacre. Next.
Hey everybody, Gene Jackson here, along with my co-host, Broadcast Bob Anderson, and we are here to call the Clash of the Champions 5, St. Valentine's Massacre. And Bob was just telling me before we started recording how this is one of his all-time favorite Clash of the Champions. Is that right, or was I mistaken?
I mean, I did just get to see the Western States Heritage title. It doesn't get any better than that, Gene.
How you like that intro? I mean, like, I was so hyped as a kid for Clash of the Champions. To this day, when I hear that music, like, it makes me happy because I always loved when these clashes were on live.
Yeah, I mean, it was always a good time. Parents let you stay up late on a Wednesday night and watch some Clash of the Champions. And then, unfortunately, this show started. And, well, you know.
Well, you know, they had 4 pretty good ones there and 5... Yeah, I guess we shouldn't say this at the beginning as we're trying to get people to listen and watch this with us, but this one kind of goes off a cliff to some extent. We hope we can make it fun for you. Look how different it is back in the day. We got Magnum and JR just sitting in a chair next to some random table with a tablecloth on it back here behind the crowd.
Magnum's hair is looking fantastic.
Yeah, he's definitely trying some new shampoo or conditioner or something here.
I'm going to say that's Pert Plus.
Well, I was going to say VO5 hot oil, but you're probably right.
No.
He's probably not that fancy.
No.
People might call some things into question. One thing we learned just from watching those matches recently from the January TV tapings is they love them some crowd shots around this time.
Yeah, Jackie Crockett must have been looking for a girlfriend or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, they film a lot of the audience.
And they often pick, like, the worst time to do it. Like, something's fine. Like, they can be in a chin lock for 4 minutes, and they'll be zoomed in tight, catching them talk to each other. And then they get up, and some action starts to happen. And right at the impact, we cut to some dude picking his nose in the third row. It's like, what the hell are we doing?
Sid gets him up for the power bomb, and here's a kid in the front row.
Oh, look at him. He's got chocolate on his face. By God! By God! So, where were you
anyway,
at on
we have a lot to
Magnum
look at this
TA
show.
as a color commentator?
He was fine. I mean, well, I'm not going to say just as good as any wrestler, but he was fine.
Yeah,
He didn't hurt my feelings like some of the guys did, but
yeah, I don't know. I was never excited to see him in the color commentary role, but then again, in this era, I love me some Bob Caudle, but like Jim Ross and Bob Caudle together, where you got 2 play-by-play guys,
yeah,
not great. Or even JR and like Gordon Soley for like Clash New York Knockout we'll get to here in a couple of months. Look at this. Midnight Express versus the Russian Assassins.
First Jack Victory appearance.
That's right. We're going to keep a running total of all the different masked gimmicks that we see Jack Victory use throughout 1989.
Which ring announcer is this?
That is, oh gosh. You know, he started out as like one of the hosts of Primetime. Like he was a announcer, a well-known announcer up there in the Midwest. And I'm blanking on. Let me pull up. I made some notes for this show. Actually, let me pull those up.
I'll just say if it's not Rhubarb Jones, I don't give a damn.
No, it's definitely not Rhubarb Jones. But I do remember, like, they were planning on really leaning into this guy because, you know, Shivani had left, and then he botched quite a few things throughout the night here, and they decided, maybe this ain't the guy.
Was Shivani in WWF not the weirdest thing when you were a kid?
Yes.
Just felt wrong.
He's in the WWF. He doesn't have his mustache. Like, it's just the whole world seemed upside down at the time.
Right. Babyface Midnights. This just never felt right either.
No, especially babyface Cornette. Like, I don't know, man. I like my Cornette heel. But then again, if you're being pitted against the original Midnight Express with Paulie Dangerously, you were hard pressed to get anybody to cheer for Paulie Dangerously back then. So, I
or
get
Randy Rose or Dennis Condrey.
Yeah. Yeah, who both look like they were like in their late 50s, even though they weren't. But they look like just a couple of dudes' dads out there compared to like the Midnight Express here, the tan Stan Lane and the forever pale, beautiful Bobby.
But he did have a hell of a mullet.
No, he was definitely no less beautiful.
Speaking of less beautiful.
Hey, now.
All right, we've got, is that Jacko or Dave in the ring?
I think that's Dave. So, yeah, we outed Jack Victory, but the other is David Sheldon, a.k.a. the Angel of Death, who used to bring a trumpet to the ring in UWF and World Class and play taps before the match, which was fun.
It was a thing for sure. Both guys, clearly not Russian.
No.
Now, Paul Jones, I think, was also not Russian.
No, Paul Jones was not
number
entertaining
one.
either. But, I always thought of him more as number two myself, but
I hear they did that in his hat a lot. But
I'd be sad to think they didn't, because I mean, he was in that eternal feud with Handsome Jimmy Valiant because nobody wanted to deal with either one of them. So Dusty's like, just put them against each other, baby.
Let them work match number 2.
That's right. They can shave each other's heads and beards and taints and whatever they need to do.
I must have missed that third one. Oh, here comes the karate.
He had them educated feet, man.
Yeah. He's the best pure athlete in the NWA.
Meanwhile, Bobby's got that right hand from Sweet Home, Alabama. He's from Huntsville. I don't know if I've mentioned that 7 times during this match. By God.
And the other team were straight from Moscow. And then
all the way from Moscow.
Moscow, Tennessee.
Which is a real place, folks. No!
All right, we missed the elbow. Here comes more karate, probably. I miss Dennis. Anyway.
I'm not going to sit here quietly while you insult Sweet Stan Lane, sir. Look at that. Dennis didn't have moves like that, even though he tried to call himself Lover Boy.
He wasn't the Lover Boy.
He couldn't pull off sweet dance moves like Sweet Stan. So...
It's a shame what happened to Bobby Eaton after Stan and Jimmy left. I mean, I guess the Dangerous Alliance years were fine. But
yeah, but it took a while to get there.
He still had a lot of years left in him that they could have used him better, but he just kind of became a jobber. And
yeah, it was weird because like he would fall into being a Jack Reynolds. That's the name. I've been sitting here Googling it for 5 minutes and his name just popped in my head. That's the ring announcer who was also, you'll catch him doing commentary on some of those house shows back in the day with Gorilla Monsoon and others.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Bobby would like, you'd be like, well, damn, he's just a straight up jobber now. And then all of a sudden he would be in a, title match of some description, just randomly challenge Flair out of the blue or wrestle for the TV title, occasionally win it.
Yeah. And then the Dangerous Alliance years were good. I don't know. I always enjoyed the team with Regal, but I still think there was life left in him after that. And they just never did anything with him because they were too busy doing other things, brother.
It's a shame that Bobby was so, like, not a great communicator. Because, I mean, he was such a talented, natural wrestler. Like, if he could have ended up, like, at at OVW or Performance Center, and they tried him out at those places, like the OVW, I know for sure. And he's a great wrestler, and he wasn't a bad trainer. He just wasn't good at conveying things as you can imagine, because you didn't have Cornette doing it on his back. Here we go. We're about to have him throw down out here. Paul Jones and Jim Cornette. This is the match you've always wanted, but thought you'd never see. Tommy Young, you son of a bitch. Oh, no. Stan Lane stepping in.
Or the match you always wanted to never see.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what I meant to say. I get my words pushed around sometimes.
And then Sweet Stan gave him the karate.
I mean, that's kind of stepping on Cornette's dick, ain't it? I mean, that's his big spot. Stan Lane just steps in and wails on the manager. I mean,
so from 1 to 5, how many words of Russian do you think Paul Jones actually speaks?
I don't think I think you'd have to start at 0. Actually, it'd have to be 0 to 5. I don't think Paul Jones could order Russian dressing at a restaurant if he had to.
Very good. Back to Bobby Eaton. I always like the story about him and Bill Dundee's daughter.
Oh yeah, the son-in-law of the superstar.
Yeah, about how Dundee always told his daughter if she ever came home with a wrestler, he'd kill him. And then she came home with a wrestler, and he was like, "Who is it?" And she was like, "Bobby Eaton." And he was like, "Oh, okay."
God damn it! It's the one wrestler I'm okay with.
Yeah,
because nobody hates Bobby Eaton. Well, he got a whack on the old Russian assassin with the tennis racket there.
As long as he doesn't whack off the Russian assassin, we're fine.
And I guess he got him pretty good because he's actually selling it, and you don't see Angel of Death selling. Oh my God! All right, leave that to Jackie Fargo, Jim. Do you think that long? Okay. What are we doing? So, do you think the long-running feud between the Midnight Express and the Rock and Roll Express really was just rooted in the mullets of Bobby Eaton and Ricky Morton and who was the dominant mullet of the two teams?
I mean, that's a good call. Like, best blonde mullet in wrestling.
I mean, I guess Ricky ended up winning in the long run because he's fucking he's 70 now, and he still has that mullet. Not only is he still alive, he's still wrestling, winning
and
titles.
He still has the mullet,
and he still has the mullet to boot. Which I don't even know how that's possible, but it's there. I've seen it. I almost wanted to tug on it last time when I was sitting at that table with him and Doug Gilbert in Corinth, Mississippi. I just wanted to yank on it one good time and see if it came off.
I've been in a couple dressing rooms with Ricky myself, and it's thin, but it is still there.
It's clinging. But, I mean, the man is still going out there wrestling almost every weekend. He recently won, like, some JCW Juggalo Battle Royal title that was, like, bigger than he is. Like, it's the most absurd. It makes the Mid-South North American title look small. I mean,
oh, my.
He put, like, there's a picture of him with around his waist, and it covers his nipples. I mean, that's how tall the thing is. And I'm not even exaggerating. Make sure I'll find that and send it to you later.
Yeah, I have to see that. That's wow. Oh, Paul Jones is coming for his revenge.
Yeah. You know, apparently Paul Jones was like a pretty big deal in the Carolinas as a wrestler in the like 70s.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of. I mean, apparently he was very over.
Yeah, which it's so hard to imagine. But I mean, I guess so. I mean, there's guys that younger fans probably say the same thing about, like we saw in their heyday, and because I mean, it's kind of baffled me over the years, but I mean, it's the way it is. Is like there's fans that only know Harley Race as like Vader's manager,
right?
And they only know Ric Flair's that crazy guy that would show up on TV every now and then and strip his clothes off and fucking elbow drop his blazer and shit like that.
Well, sadly, that's the legacy that Flair left for himself. Whereas,
yeah, he continues to shit on that legacy every day of his life. And,
pretty much. Pretty
upsetting,
much.
But I'm kind of over it at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, he's done nothing to help himself. Like Ricky Steamboat showing up once every 10 years and doing a segment, I can handle that. But
yeah,
Flair has done not a goddamn thing to help himself.
And you're not reading stories where Ricky Steamboat berated a waiter or a bartender somewhere and pissed on their shoes or something, you know?
Or on his own shoes.
Or on his own shoes while trying to piss on the waiter's shoes, but the stream just ain't what it used to be, brother.
Yeah, I mean, not to completely, but it's sad that like the two biggest stars of the 80s, I mean, I guess, I don't know, you might consider Savage or Andre a bigger star than Flair, but like the two world champions of their respective leagues in the 80s, both
Right.
did so much to piss away their own legacies.
Yeah, I mean, the two, as far as like Flair representing the Southern Territory and Hogan representing the North. And they neither one have done anything good for their legacies. Meanwhile, Sting's still out here having matches up till just a couple of years ago. And I saw a picture of him and Bagwell in like an airport lounge or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Sting has gone gray and grown out this big goatee, Sting could like knock on my front door and I wouldn't know who the hell he is. Like, that's a pretty
Right.
good trick on his part. Like, he can go incognito wherever he wants now. Nobody's going to recognize him.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know. When it comes to world champions of the 80s, I guess the guy with the most respect left is Bockwinkel. So,
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't go out and piss away his legacy after his run was done. I mean, he was, WCW commissioner, and he did that with a level of integrity, and
then he just kind of...
And then he just disappeared, and you didn't hear from him again until I ran into him in Atlanta at a convention and got to shake his hand.
There's a guy I wish I'd met. All right, folks, back to the match. We're working the bear hug.
A Russian bear hug, if you will. Stan Lane finally just fights his way out of it with punches. Look at this shit.
What the hell was that?
I don't know, but the Russian assassin had been out of the corner for 3 minutes before Stan flung himself into it upside down. Timing of that was a little questionable. All right, got the tag.
All right. Here comes
You can always
Jack.
tell Victory. He's a little, like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a nice way to say this, but like
Uncoordinated.
Fatu or Rikishi in the back section of it. Like he's
You're
a little
saying he's
bigger
got a
in the,
fat ass.
yeah, he's a little bigger in the midsection than old Sheldon there. Oh, Stan Lane goes to the wrong corner, but he gets no. He grabbed Jack Victory's wrist to look like Jack Victory cut him off. Woo, what an elbow drop. Man, that was animated as hell. I like it.
So other than Magic Dragon, can you think of one masked foreign guy from the 80s that was actually foreign?
Ooh. That's a tough one. I think you may be right. I can't think of any that was written.
At least that was in the United States. I know there were probably some.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
like
Mexico
in
and Japan was eat up with them.
Right. Yeah.
And the ones that came here, the
right.
luchadors but as far as like people who were portraying in the 80s.
Yes. Like Mil Mascaris obviously doesn't count, but like Magic Dragon's the only guy I can think of.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Because like,
and you know what's sad is this is like probably gonna be the best match of the show right here. And this is like main event on Worldwide or something, but I may be wrong. I didn't look over the card too close because I wanted to not like dread this or anything, but I knew we'd have fun regardless. I mean, this is still better than any of the OWF stuff that we subjected ourselves to.
And it's going to be better than those two house shows that we watched where they just held arm bars for like 6 hours.
God. Everybody
Bobby
just...
with the double bulldog. Nicely.
Wow.
Like it. Sorry, go ahead. Didn't you cut you off?
I mean, everybody just jizzed their pants when they started putting those Omni shows out. And then you start watching them like, I mean, there's a couple of main events that are pretty good, but even Flair and Brad Armstrong, which was the main reason. Oh, no, he just headbutted his partner. I'm sure the mask was loaded. With whatever you load a mask with, that you slip in front of your forehead, that somehow hurts only them, but not your head.
But not your head, exactly. There was the rocket launcher.
Woo!
It's all over.
What a maneuver.
You mean like the loaded boot?
Yes.
It somehow stays in the back of your boot and doesn't slide forward the whole time till you stomp your foot 3 times?
Kick your toe against the mat 3 times. If you kick it 2 times, it only gets halfway there. You kick it 3 times.
Yeah.
And then it's loaded, and then you can tap the heel against the mat, and it unloads it.
Of course. What happens if you kick it 4 times? Do you overload it?
It falls out the back of their boot, I believe, if it goes up either way.
Huh.
I just love, like, again, and I've said this a lot of times, but for all the old school people, and I'm considered one of those people, but who will sit and argue with somebody about how more realistic it was back in their day, and it's like, y'all had loaded boots, shut up, like,
right.
you can't, you can't say that much about it, you know.
I have 2 words for you, sir: gobbledy and gooker.
How did people wake up from sleepers back in your day, sir? Did you have to wake them up with a big slap across the back?
Oh, it's Butch Reed and Stephen Dane. I'm sorry,
hey, this is one of them bangers I always hear the kids talking about.
Oh, look, at least Bonnie's not here.
Oh, thank God.
And let me preface that by saying I love Ricky Steamboat. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But this whole, like, look at me, I'm a smiling family man, and here's my son. How is this supposed to get him over whatsoever?
Yeah, it was a real bad call. And the thing is like, it became obvious that it was a bad call. And they just leaned into it more. Like, you'll hear, well, you may not hear it on this because we got the sound turned down, but like, he's getting booed during this segment later in the show. Like, fans are shitting at this everywhere they go, and they're just doubling down on it each time. I imagine he's saying something here like, this is my son, and you can tell he's my son because he's dressed like me, because otherwise he looks nothing like me at all. He just looks like a plain little white kid. He has no hint of Asian heritage whatsoever. But he did, as he got older, though, become a spitting image of his dad, strangely enough.
Still a shame about that poor kid. Anyway.
Yeah. Poor Bob Caudle recently passed away, but he made it to 95. That's way older than I'll ever dream of making it. So
yeah, you can't. I mean, you can be sad about it, but you can't be upset about that. That's a hell of a life.
No. He got it all in, I think.
Right.
Look here. Flair and Steamboat going at it in the TV studio. I didn't mention this at the beginning. This is February 15th, 1989 in Cleveland, Ohio at the Cleveland Convention Center. We got about 5,000 people in attendance. You'll see them a lot throughout the night.
Cleveland.
Where my ex-wife was from, so.
Oh.
Not a favorite place of mine. But my good buddy Ray Russell lives there, so I don't know. I guess that cancels itself out.
Flair misses his signature spot.
Yeah.
Are we going to tear the clothes off? Because that was always another weird thing they did in the 80s. They tore each other's clothes off a lot.
Yes. If you saw Flair start fighting in his clothes, you knew it was all fixing to get ripped off before it was over with. And, you know, and Bob, in everyday situations, you get into a street fight with somebody, what better way to take it out on somebody to strip them naked of their clothes to let them know that you're pissed? You ain't having none of this bullshit.
That's the first thing I tried. If a guy hits me in the face, I'm not going to hit him back. I'm going to try to tear his pants off.
That's right. And they won't mess with you anymore, though.
That's true. That is true.
Like, I didn't know that about that guy. I'm going to leave him alone.
All right. Stephen Dane. I forgot. Is he supposed to be like, I don't know who he's supposed to be here. But anyway.
He's Steve Casey here, which is essentially the same character as Stephen Dane. Although, my understanding, I didn't know this till here a while back, Steve Casey's Scott Casey's brother.
That's who I was trying to think of and couldn't think of it. That's right.
And I thought that was just a random name, but no, it turns out they're actually brothers. And since he wasn't carrying on the cowboy gimmick and really didn't look like him when he went to Global, you know, he became Stephen Dane. And that's how I remember him as well, you know, because It wasn't Stephen Casey falling out of the freaking bungee cord match. That was Stephen Dane.
I do love me some Cowboy Scott Casey, and we were talking about blonde mullets earlier. That's pretty freaking good right there.
I mean, he looks like a buff Buck Rock and Roll Zumhofe. Like if Buck Rock and Roll Zumhofe took some time away from molesting and got in the gym.
I say Ixnay on the Buck Zumhofe.
Yeah, I mean, if he put more focus on the gym instead of kids, he could look like that. He's too busy rocking and rolling.
Yeah, that's
and
what he was doing.
Things.
Yeah. Let's not talk about those things.
Well, if anybody has watched any of our past programs that are out there on YouTube and whatnot, it's no secret that we're both pretty big fans of Hacksaw Butch Reed. Perhaps you even more than I. Tell everybody a little bit about your fandom of Butch Reed and some of the compilations and things that you've studied on and some of your favorite highlights of his career.
Yeah, I feel like Butch Reed gets maligned by a lot of people because they only remember his natural run, and for all intents and purposes, it was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he had one good match with Tito Santana on a house show. Otherwise, that whole run was awful because I think he was just on a lot of cocaine and getting paid a lot of money and didn't care otherwise. But Butch Reed, like in the early 80s in Mid-South and other places, was fantastic. He was a really good worker for a guy his size. He could go 60 minutes easily. He could do amazing power things, but he's also work. Hell of a talker. Had a really fun team with Buddy Landell, who's also another favorite of both Gene and I. I mean, Butch was fantastic. Like, I think if Butch hadn't had the drug problems he had, he easily could have been the first Black World Champion before Ron Simmons. Now, I think at this point in his career, he's definitely slowed down a lot. I can only assume, based on how long I saw that this match goes, it's going to be horrible. And I think we're getting to the point in time now where we're building up to where Butch and Ron Simmons both disappear and then come back under masks as why the hell
are we doing? Okay, we just cut to a crowd shot of two people making out in the crowd, and it clearly was staged. It ain't like the crowd didn't catch them already kissing. Like, you could tell them, like, now, okay, and then they start.
Hey, it was the world's first ever kiss cam. Great.
Wonderful. Like, if you're Butch Reed or Stephen Casey and you go back and checking out your match and you're like, what the fuck was that for? But okay, this kid's doing the "You Can't See Me" years before John Cena was even a thing.
Maybe that was John Cena.
It might have been. I don't know. I would rewind him, but we probably wouldn't be able to see him. But yeah, so Butch Reed, admittedly, like where I grew up, we didn't have access to Mid-South or UWF. I've seen bits and pieces of it when I'd go visit family in Missouri. But so my first exposure to Butch Reed was the natural Butch Reed. So I was underwhelmed by Butch Reed, like most people were that, had that same experience. I mean, the closest thing that WWE did to putting him in a program was that Superstar Billy Graham debacle.
Yeah.
Other than that, he just had squash matches and just random matches with no rhyme or reason. Like you say, other than he had a decent match with Tito on a house show. He had that match with Coco famously on WrestleMania 3 that Coco will tell you about. If you meet Coco tomorrow at the grocery store, he will bring it up. I promise you. I've been around Coco a bunch, and I've heard a lot about that match. Great guy, though. Jesus Christ. This is so off-putting. Like,
it really is.
I mean, most shows do it as they go to commercial, but this is just the middle of something. Just like, okay, here's this kid. What's he supposed to be? We don't know. But yeah, once I got to go back, I started tape trading, and man, once I went back and I saw the stuff you're talking about in Mid-South, I got to see a little bit of him in Florida. But the stuff in Mid-South with Butch Reed, with Buddy Landell, feud with JYD, Hacksaw, different things. Mm-hmm. It gave me a whole new outlook on Butch Reed. And then it really almost hurt my feelings to think back on what could have been if it wasn't for the drugs. I'm sure injuries played into a lot of it.
Oh, absolutely. Well. And I mean, truth is, the Doom run really isn't that bad if you're not looking for what the hell is wrong with her head. Anyway.
She's wearing a coonskin cap that they dyed blonde.
Right. Is that Davy Crockett? Like the Doom run, like if you're not looking for 5-star classics, but you're looking for two big guys beating the hell out of people, the Doom run's good. They have some decent matches with the Steiners, and like just for two big strong guys beating the hell out of people, they were a fun team. And also you get to see Woman a lot, which is always a good thing.
Yes. It was a good use of those two guys. Like whoever thought like Ron was still a little bit green and Butch was slowing down. So whoever it was, like, hey, you know what? We should put those guys together. Now, whoever's idea it was, like, you know what? I bet we could put masks on them and nobody would know who they were.
No, I'm not going to lie, Gene. 11-year-old me didn't figure it out. But looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, okay, that should have been pretty obvious.
As a kid, the first couple matches, I didn't figure it out. But they zoomed in during their entrance on each one of them. Like, Butch stopped and looked at the camera and said, we're going to take these boys out. And then he walks on, and then they put the camera right in Ron Simmons' face, and he says something, but that distinct voice of Ron Simmons, and I'm like, that's Butch Reed and Ron Simmons. Jesus, why they they shouldn't have put the camera that close. But any of the longtime fans, surely to God, the first time they walked out, are like, all right, why is Ron Simmons and Butch Reed wearing masks now? But I talked to people, strangely, like I was indifferent to Doom, like I didn't love Doom. I didn't hate Doom. They were just there. Like I had to talk to people my age and older, they're like, "Oh yeah, man, I love Doom was my favorite tag team of all time." And I'm like, "Really?" They're like, "Yeah." Especially once they got Teddy Long, and I'm like, "Wait a minute! Like my favorite part was Woman. Like you liked it best when they got Teddy Long? Like big hair here. There's a lot of big hair."
I mean, but yeah, like they had a really fun match with was it Arn and Barry? They had the street fight with.
Yes,
I know it was two of the Horsemen.
91.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always loved that match. Like, really, that's really the only match on that whole show that I'm really a big fan of. That I've gone back and I'll watch that specific match rather than some. Okay, this guy's got toilet paper.
I mean, is he saying this match is the shits? Because
I hope so. I hope he's not asking like, "Where's the toilet? I need to use this."
So I don't really recall the whole Steve Casey and WCW. This must have been a short-lived push.
It was. So we hadn't really talked about this in the last show that we recorded, but Dusty got the booking position taken away from him at the end of '88 due to a variety of things, but one of the bigger ones being the spike to the eye angle on TBS was like one of the last straws. Around that same time, he got in trouble for bleeding with the spike in the eye, so they had the original Midnight Express show up and attack Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express, and Cornette bled like he had been shot in the face. So they were like, okay, apparently this dude thinks he can do whatever he wants to. So he gets removed from the booking position, but he's still got a contract to work. But obviously, most of the time when somebody loses their booking job, you're not just going to stick around because you're probably going to get buried. So Dusty has just recently left to go start up PWF in Florida, where he'll be feuding with the Big Steel Man, a.k.a. Big Bubba, a.k.a. the Shockmaster, Tugboat, Typhoon, take your pick, Fred Ottman. Wonderful man. I've met him a few times, and he's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Of course, famously fell through the wall at Clash of the Champions, never lived it down, but he's smart enough to just make it work for him these days. He leans into it at these conventions and things. But anyway, Dusty left, so some of the things that he started are going to quickly get wrapped up. Stephen Casey was on like a undefeated streak for just 2 or 3 weeks, and it ends. Spoiler alert! It ends here. And he looks like, to me, man, like here he looks like a jobber where you're just like, why is Butch Reed still dicking around with this guy? I mean, he looks great. Don't get me wrong; he's got in good shape, but he's generic. He's nothing really makes me want to get behind him. So it's just like Butch Reed's just playing with his food here or something. But he will disappear.
Should be teaming with Tim Horner. So
yeah, he will disappear within a TV taping or two here, and not to be heard from again until Stephen Dane appears in Global. And I like some of his stuff in Global as a heel, but it's one of those things you don't think about it until somebody mentions it or you see him and go, "Oh yeah, that guy." But you're not like, who was really awesome? Fucking Stephen Dane.
All right, Butch is kicking the shit out of him.
I'm not usually one to nitpick on little things like this. Then again, maybe I am, but it could have helped Butch if he'd have got him some new gear. The fact he's still rocking the old natural gear here makes it look old and tired. You know what I mean? Like, that was one of my favorite things about Doom is he finally had something different that made him look different,
That is true. You're not wrong. Just a simple change of trunks would have been.
Yeah. Exactly. Look at this guy. Woo! Roll Tide! That was like Whitey Jenkins' cousin out there in the front row enjoying the show.
Was that old Leroy Jenkins?
Oh, Leroy Jenkins. Oh, shit. Butch Reed said, fuck a bunch of that. You ain't hip tossing me, boy.
That's not the spot, Clang.
What the fuck is he doing? He's doing my spot.
Sheik would have been here around this time, wouldn't he?
Sheik is on the payroll. They haven't. I don't think they've yet decided that they're sending him home to get paid yet. They're still trying things here and there.
Yes, I know he has a match in March because it's on that same show with the Sting Snake Brown match. So
I think he's around. I want to say at Wrestle War in May, he wrestles Sting on that pay-per-view, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So He's around for half the year, and eventually they decide he's so terrible they're just going to send him home and let him draw a check, and then they forgot about it as the contract rolled over. He got to sit home for another year on the company dime. And then the minute that contract ran out, Vince brought him back to be Colonel Mustafa. So old Sheiky baby didn't have to go without a paycheck, and that's good. That makes me happy.
And the moral of that story, ladies and gentlemen, is WCW.
Yes, because he ain't the only one that happened to. There's a man named Lanny Poffo who was on the payroll for about 4 years, which I don't know that his got forgot about. They just had to promise Randy they would give him a job. And then when they saw the gimmick he was wanting to do of blonde-headed Lanny Poffo as Gorgeous George, they were like, no, just stay home.
Well, that's Sinister Minister talks in one of his shoot interviews how he would call in and talk to Jimmy Hart, who was booking Saturday Night at the time. And Jimmy'd be like, don't call here. They'll remember you're on payroll.
Don't rat me out, baby.
Yeah. Well, no, Jimmy was on. They knew, but he was telling Minister not to call because then they remember he was on payroll and fire him. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what a company!
There's a lot of guys
book,
who.
right?
Oh yeah, a great book, by the way. People should check it out if they haven't, especially if you're a fan of that era of WCW. But yeah, at that point, that was called mailbox money, and there were several people making it. That was kind of the goal of some guys of a certain age. Is like, well, look, I don't want to be on the road, but if I could just get one of those contracts, then suck ass enough when I get there that they put me back at the house, I'll make that mailbox money for a couple of years, and then we'll see where we're at. And meanwhile, you got guys like Rick Rude and Kurt Hennig who could have sat around and made money off their Lloyds of London claim, but they wanted to get back in the ring so bad they decided to forego that and go back to the ring. I'm sure they regretted it at some point. But 2 count, player. Don't put me. Or maybe put you in a tag team match.
Do you want to go 1-on-1 with the Undertaker?
He mean Mark Callis right now, but you still don't want to mess with him.
Oh, look at this. Steve Casey getting all fired up. Missing a drop kick.
He's not mean Mark Callis. He's Master of Pain down in Memphis.
Oh.
Wrestling Jerry Lawler with Ronnie P. Gossett as his manager.
Oh, my.
Maybe we'll watch that someday, or at least one episode, just for fun.
I feel like Butch is starting to get annoyed with this guy.
He is. Well, there's a big computer sign from back in the day.
Gotta love the dot matrix paper.
Hell yeah. Paper. If you didn't know that this was an 80s show just by turning it on, that gave it away.
Took him an hour and a half to print that banner.
Exactly. We started printing this Monday because the show was Wednesday. Finished up right before we got in the car.
The good old days.
It was supposed to say Valentine's Day Massacre, but we ran out of time and ink.
We would have had
to look at that leverage.
Additional
leverage for Butch Reed. Shit. Like that's doing something.
He almost broke his neck by putting his foot up there.
I swear. Yeah, all that extra leverage. And there's that guy. You see this guy? Oh, wait a minute. Next time they put the camera over there. There he goes again. He's killing him right now. Stephen Case's like, God, why is it hurting so much more all of a sudden? And now he's choking him. Butch Reed's just a cheating bastard. Over there in the middle of the aisle, there's a guy. You see him in the middle walking back and forth? Like every time Butch starts cheating, he gets out of his like 5th row chair and comes charging down the aisle and points at the referee like, he's cheating! He's cheating! Oh, that's great.
Come in there and tell Butch about it. I dare you.
All right, Teddy, I'm gonna put my foot on the rope again. I think that guy's gonna have a heart attack here in a minute. Dude, don't just let it drop. Let it drop. One more time. Son of a bitch.
I think this is the longest match on the show. Like if I remember from looking.
Pretty sure it is.
Because that's necessary.
I mean, they had plenty of people on the roster. You could have thrown 2 more matches in here, even if they were just squash matches. It would be better than a 17-minute Stephen Casey Butch Reed match. I mean, jeez.
I was trying to figure out what was the Coors. Oh, extra gold.
Extra gold.
It's no Miller High Life, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, but it was extra pissy tasting. Oh, look at that hip toss.
That's some straight ass violent J80s hip toss right there.
That doesn't hold a candle to a Mike Rotunda hip toss, but wait a minute.
Does? Oh,
that's racist. That's racist. Don't do that, Steve. We can't call it.
That was a semi-decent drop. Well, the first one was.
Yeah.
So wow, Butch just dead ass caught him.
You ain't kidding. It's a wonder he didn't tear a muscle on that. Jeez.
So not to talk about modern wrestling during these, but I'm going to for 30 seconds.
That's fine.
Okada has the best drop kick I have ever seen. I don't know how much.
Even better than jumping Jim Brunzell or Brad Armstrong?
Better than Brunzell, Armstrong, and Kurt Hennig. Like, that thing is beautiful, dude. Like, I know you don't watch a lot of AEW, but if you see him on, you should turn on just to see that shit. It is amazing.
Oh, I've seen it. I saw it in person when he was when I was at All In. He wrestled who did he wrestle? The kid that got canceled. The villain.
Skrull.
The British guy. Skrull, yeah, he had a match with Skrull, and it was a good match. But yeah, he got his drop kick in for sure.
Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of the New Japan stuff, so I've really only seen him on AEW, and yeah, I saw him hit it. Like, I guess he didn't do it a lot when he first got there, and now he's using it as a heel for some reason, which seems an odd. But anyway, yeah, that thing is beautiful. Anyway,
he invented that sling blade move that everybody uses now too, didn't he?
I hate that move, but.
I don't like it either, but I'm saying he was the first person I've seen to use it, and then all of a sudden, like, all the indie guys adopted it.
The inverted version where it ends in a bulldog, I don't hate that so much.
Yeah.
But the clothesline version just pisses me off. Though the move I hate the worst, that stupid one that I think Elix Skipper did it, where they put their leg behind their head and then they like just kind of like gently roll them over.
Oh, yeah.
The Playmaker or whatever the fuck. That is the dumbest move in all of wrestling. Like, the Iron Claw would hurt more than that fucking move. Like,
yeah.
And
basically, they're cooperating because you could not put your leg behind somebody's head and make somebody flip like that.
Yeah.
Without some.
It is truly the dumbest move I have in all of wrestling. Like,
there we go. Here comes the hoe train. Long before the Godfather.
Every time I see Flair come out with these girls, all I can think of, and I like that when Nash was dressed as Arn Anderson, he said, "That's right, a fat broad, the same fat broads that the Horsemen have been with for 20 years."
I know
none of these girls are fat, but that's always pops in my head.
They were eventually, though. We just don't see it here. But
dear Lord, that girl has enough hairspray and deplete the ozone.
Oh yeah, just those chicks all together right now have taken out a whole aisle of white rain at the fucking Walgreens. But as much as old school fans hated it, I fucking loved that Four Horsemen segment with Nash and them.
It was hysterical. Absolutely hysterical.
Probably top 5 things Kevin Nash ever did, if we're being honest.
I liked him as Diesel.
I did too. I mean,
is that Hiro Matsuda? Is this when Hiro Matsuda managed the Horsemen?
Yeah, JJ had took off to the WWF too, so suddenly.
Who is the fairest of them all? Life couldn't be any better than it is for the Nature Boy. Look at this.
So, at this time, I mentioned earlier, but I never got past it. Dusty has left as Booker, and they have brought back George Scott, who was like Booker in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently his mindset hasn't changed. That's why he signed the Iron Sheik, because Iron Sheik was a big deal in the 70s. That's why he's bringing back this feud that he had already booked that went really well in the late 70s, early 80s between Flair and Steamboat, but apparently it doesn't is not gonna is going to appeal more to fans than the Family Man here. Ricky Steamboat. Because to me, even as a kid in '89, I'm 12 years old. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's cool as hell. He's got all these chicks hanging off of him, and he's got it going on. And then Ricky Steamboat's like, yeah, I had to bring my wife and my kid to work. I guess I didn't have a babysitter.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like, I guess I never understood wearing a fur coat. But yeah, no, he's got chicks, he's got money, he's got limousines. Like, yeah, I mean,
no, the only person I knew in my life that wore a fur coat was my grandma. So no, I didn't get that.
But yeah, I mean, I guess young kids maybe are going to cheer for Steamboat, and then like people that are old enough to be angry at Flair because he has more money than them. But yeah, like teenagers, 20-year-olds, like they're going to be all for Flair.
I mean, maybe some of the older guys like, he's hanging out with that Jap. It's still got.
Well, yeah, I figured
issues and things. But.
Well, yeah, like really old people. I mean, yeah, and I figured most people would just, it's going to be, I'm jealous because he's got the girls and the money. And
well, he's in full Bruce Lee mode here. He's not wearing his gi. He's got his headband on. Bruce Lee, Daniel LaRusso. I don't know which one we're going for here, but
as I get older, the more I watch old Flair stuff, my God, he's repetitive.
Oh, yeah. As soon as he started that mirror on the wall shit, I'm like, God damn. Like, Flair may be half the reason promos are scripted these days because he would say the same shit week after week over and over.
I mean, his promos are repetitive. His matches are repetitive. That's why I don't buy into this Flair is the greatest of all time theory. And that'll probably get me heat with people. But
I mean,
I know you don't either. But.
Yeah, I don't care at this point. I mean, make a case for it's all I can say. I'm willing to have a discussion about anything with anybody. If you can convince either one of us or both of us why that still makes him the best, I'm willing to listen. But I don't know that I'm going to buy into it.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll happily defend Terry Funk's case against anybody that wants to put Flair up.
I mean, I understand when it was the territories and Flair could go from territory to territory when there wasn't national television and have that match over and over and nobody was none the wiser. Right. I mean, yeah, even then people are like, well, we see that match twice a year when he comes in. Right. But once this shit starts being on national TV week in and week out and you've got Clash of the Champions and pay-per-views and all this, and he's going out and having this match over and over for the most part with the Horseman run-ins for the finishes and all that, and it's like he's out there on every week saying a lot of them same lines over and over. It's like, well, you're showcasing how repetitive he is. It's like, why somebody needs to sit down and go, hey, Rick, we're going to change some of this shit up, like, or not put you on TV so much, which probably was the best answer, honestly.
Probably. Shit, I don't even rank Flair the best among the Horsemen.
No, because I enjoy Wyndham, Anderson, or Tully better.
I definitely say Wyndham and Anderson.
Ollie's I like Tully because he was the only fucking actual heel in the Horsemen.
That's true.
Everybody secretly loved the other three, but people fucking hated Tully. And it was his personality, which I respected that. And he was a good wrestler. But he was one of those guys that was a smart heel because he turned it on and took control when he needed to, but he knew when to back down and be the chicken shit coward when he needed to as well. And a lot of guys have trouble with that. They either do too much of one or the other.
That is also very true. Hell, we've completely lost the chicken shit heel at this point.
Yeah, oh yeah, these days that's a thing of the distant past. That's why you don't really have any true heel. Oh, he slapped the shit out of him.
Yes, he
slapped
did.
His sunglasses right off. Bob Caudle's like, where do I go? What do I look at?
Oh, we're going to strip him again.
God dang. I mean, we went to this. Oh, no, not poor Hiro Matsuda. Bob, get out of the ring, dude. God damn, you're going to get knocked down. He was 70 at this point. Bob's
I think
somebody help these bitches get out of the ring.
I think they mostly spent their time stripping Flair just so he could bitch about how much the clothes cost in an interview a week later.
He's helping him unbutton some of the shit you could see.
Yeah, that's the worst part. Like how long it always took him to get his belt off. And...
He's taking the tie off himself. Bob, goddamn, dude, it's time to go. Like, you're not recovering this interview. Jeez.
Rick, how do you feel now that he's pulled your penis out of your pants?
Woo! Whether you like it, or you don't like it, it's the best penis going today. Woo! Jim Ross says, by God, somebody get Bob Caudle out of the ring. By God, before they strip his clothes off. He's an old man. All right, Ricky, take it easy before you pull his damn draws off, as they say. Is there any other wrestler that you've ever had to sit through watching him get stripped naked more than Ric Flair? I mean, from the 80s, or well, from the 70s, if you could watch it that far back, up into the 2000s. I mean, he was doing this shit in TNA.
I certainly can't think of any. I
can't either. I mean, even after he quote-unquote retired, he's in TNA stripping his clothes off and bleeding from a damn backdrop. And just... I mean, Hogan could point his finger at him, he'd start bleeding. Oh, he done high-yawed your ass. Boy, you got that judo chop. Yeah, you think you're karate man. That's a real karate man right there, Steamboat. Well, you didn't think this through, Ricky, because there's not much between you and Flair's dick right now than a little piece of fabric. Oh, somebody just beamed fucking Steamboat trying to hit Flair with a paper wad.
I miss the days when people would throw shit in the ring. I mean, not that it should be happening all the time, but when people got really, really pissed off and threw shit in the ring.
Yeah. Man, I remember after the big NWO, at Bash at the Beach, God. Like they brought the house show to Tupelo and Hall and Nash come out. And it was funny because people were cheering them as they came out, which it was funny to me. They didn't have the NWO music at that point. They came to the ring to like Ready or Not by the Fugees. And because it was a house show, you could come out to whatever you wanted to, I guess.
Right.
But after the match, they wrestled Sting and the Giant in a tag match. And after the match, people just like, oh, yeah, this is what you do. You throw shit at the NWO. It just rained drink cups, popcorn boxes, just everything. It's just like, and so Nash is like batting it away. He like grabbed a chair and started just smacking the shit. Hall caught somebody threw like a half a bag of M&Ms. Hall caught them, opened them up, started eating the M&Ms and flipped people off. And he caught like a half full drink, threw it back out into the crowd. Like
tremendous.
They sit there, they played through that whole entire song before they finally go, "Are you done? Are you done? Screw you, we ain't coming back." And then they left, and everybody threw more shit at them.
That's funny. Until you hear the stories about like Puerto Rico where they're throwing like D batteries at people.
Yeah, cups full of piss and D batteries. Like, nah, that's not fun. Throwing stabbings on people to boot.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Steamboat. That's a preview of what heel Steamboat would look like right there. Sunglasses and an inside-out suit.
A lot like Pat Tanaka.
Exactly. Yeah, this is just Pat Tanaka without the... Oh! Now we got to watch him strip it all back off.
And some guy gets to take home half of Flair's jacket.
Yep, he's probably trying to sell it to that A&E show now for $12,000. Send Mark Henry out here. I'll take $12,000 for it and tickets to WrestleMania and a blowjob from, well, pretty much any of them.
Yeah, that show's freaking ridiculous, dude.
I like to watch it just to see like the condition that some of that stuff's in. Like when that dude opened that chest and pulled out Randy Savage's Mega Powers robe and it looked just like it did back in the day, I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. But you see them pulling up like these little houses.
Right.
And it's got like, and they've got like
a whole room dedicated.
Like, yeah, Bret Hart's jacket and Mankind's mat. Like, dude, like you could have like a pretty decent life right now if you hadn't invested all your money in like wrestling stuff. And they're like, we'll offer you $20,000. No. Now, wait a minute, folks. In the ring, we've got the Blackmailer.
Huh. I wonder who's playing him, Gene.
He looks kind of familiar, Bob. I don't know. I said we were going to keep track of how many gimmicks that Jack Victory did throughout '89, but now we got to keep up with how many gimmicks Jack Victory's doing throughout this show. First and third match here. Jack Victory putting in work.
Hardest working man in the NWA.
Damn right.
Yeah, no, there was one episode of that show where a guy had the In Memory of David jacket that Kerry wore when he won the world title, and I was like,
Lord.
Can we write down where that guy lives so I can rob it? I shouldn't say that live on this show.
No, but there's, because there's some people like trying to figure out some coordinates, like, wait a minute. Yeah. That looks like that house would be pretty easy to infiltrate. Yeah.
Dear God,
so that outfit that Jack Victory's wearing right now, pay attention throughout '89 because it will be it will have a lot of different names attributed to it, and it's usually always Jack Victory wearing it, but on occasion, someone else might even don that outfit or one similar to it. But how long do you think we spent coming up with the name The Blackmailer?
I'm not sure, but Lex Luger's tights hurt my eyes. Who's he blackmailing?
That's the thing. Is like,
is
how
it Lex? Is it Hiro Matsuda? Is it
Tommy Young? Is he going to tell his secret if he don't call him as the winner? Like, that's the weird part about it. He's the blackmailer, but like, we're not giving any examples of who or where or how he's blackmailing anyone. So I know people like run hot or cold on Lex Luger, and I know you said you're not a big fan of Sting. So where were you at on Lex Luger? Not today, but in 1989 as young Bob watching this.
Again, I was never a huge fan of Lex. I actually liked Sting better than Lex until, for some reason, when Lex went back and became was fighting. Oh my God, look at that! Like when he went back and fought the NWO, I liked him better then than I ever did.
Oh wow!
But I don't know. I was never a big Luger fan. I was always I actually during the Luger Wyndham team that was very short lived between Horseman runs.
Yeah.
I liked him best then, I guess, because I was a big Barry fan. But I never. Like, I know he was trying to be pushed as one of their top guys, but he wasn't a guy that I was super into.
Yeah, I didn't like the fact that he flip-flopped so much.
Yes, he was a guy hurt very badly by heel turn after heel turn after, face turn, heel turn, face turn, heel, like the Giant.
Yeah. And I realize a couple of them were out of necessity due to, the Sting injury and things like that. But it's just
right.
But to me, I don't know, you may feel differently, but like, to me, after all that build up in '88, and they did that weak finish at the '88 Bash where he had that one trickle of blood going down his head, and the referee stops the match, and then they build up to Starrcade, and then he doesn't get the job done at Starrcade. Like, to me, that just kind of defined him, and then it just kept happening again in 1990. And then when he finally got the belt in 91, it's like, well, yeah, you can win it when Flair's not here, so that reign really didn't mean anything. I don't know. It's I thought they kind of ruined him. Even if he didn't keep it long, he should have won it in 88, at least for a stretch, just to establish that he's not going to be the runner-up for his entire career. Because he went to WWF, did the same freaking thing.
Yeah. Lex had a lot of rugs pulled out from under him.
And I think he brought a lot of that on himself with his personality and his
You're not wrong.
Fuckery behind the scenes, probably.
I will say, have you read his book?
I haven't. I need to, honestly. I'd like to.
I really enjoyed his book because he talks in there about, realizing how much of a douchebag he was and how what happened to him may end up becoming the best thing that ever happened to him. And you can tell it really changed his life and he became a really humble dude. I'd like to meet him. He seems like, I don't know. It seems like it really gave him, I don't know the word I'm looking for, perception, who he was and who he is now and how his life should be. And you go into it feeling really bad for him and you still kind of do, but you're like, wow, this dude really, knows who he is now. So it's kind of cool in a way. I mean, it's horrible, but it's cool in a way.
Yeah, I mean, me and Rosie met him a few years back in Charlotte, and he was just the nicest guy. He's one of those guys that was like Piper, where he at least seemed like he was as happy or happier to meet you than you were him. And, it wasn't one of those just like, here you go, here's an autograph, fuck off. He wanted to, hey, how are y'all? Where are y'all from? And all that kind of thing. And that's the thing that's really amazed me about it, because you hear all these stories like, Jim Ross will do podcasts and talk about how arrogant he was and things like that. But yeah, he really is like a humble guy. And if anybody really could sit and be bitter, sit in a wheelchair and be like,
right.
The world has
if anyone
shit
could
on
Ole
me.
Anderson it.
Yeah, because I mean, man, that dude, like, you talking about being rock bottom. I mean, you had the Liz, the Liz thing, and that all got blamed on him. And you can say what you want about whether or not that should be the case, but and he ends up this. So tell me, I've heard a couple of different sources, but like I said, I hadn't read his book. Exactly how does he end up paralyzed? Because I read that it was from sleeping on a plane and he got a bad crick in his neck where it all started, and it worked from there. Is that true? Sounds absurd.
Don't exactly remember. I read it a while back. It was something like I don't remember the gist of it. He was in a hotel room and he woke up and couldn't move. And I want to say it was a stroke, but I could be wrong because it's been a while since I read the book. I do remember it was in a hotel room and he woke up and couldn't move. But what actually caused it, I can't remember, and I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I was just curious because, like I said, I heard some strange story about it. Started with like a plane ride and it was falling asleep. His neck was in a bad position. It was like that started it, and it ended up in the bed and couldn't get up. But again, for him to be such a humble and like God-fearing guy, like he's real religious now, and you think when you spend almost every weekend, or probably one weekend a month, if not two, signing pictures of you looking like he does in the ring right now, you think it would just double down on that bitterness, constantly. But he's one of the most positive people out there. And of course, he got paired up with DDP, and now there was a picture I seen him the other day. He's on a step stool, like decorating his Christmas tree, and he's got a wife now, and so
I'm reading here. Apparently, he suffered a nerve impingement in his neck, which may be the thing you're hearing about on a plane, and then he had a spinal stroke.
Ooh. I'm wondering, I mean, have they ever told him that that's steroid related, or just
that? I don't know. I mean,
you have to think it probably is related, because good Lord, the man had to have done a lot of steroids in his time. And I don't think he's ever denied that.
No.
I mean, how could you?
Right.
Good Lord. When he went to when he left WCW in 92 and went to go be in the World Bodybuilding Federation, it was absurd how big he had gotten. Like, he could barely get through that match with Sting because he was already blowing up then. But the mask that he put on was unreal.
But, Gene, bodybuilders are clean.
Especially in my federation, pal. Man.
All right. The Blackmailer really taking it to Lex here.
And it's not like he's had an easy night. They put in some time in that Midnight Express match earlier, and he spent a lot of it in the ring. So, and I guess he knew going into it that...
Or maybe he did. Maybe he got backstage and like, hey, Jack.
You got that other outfit with you, the black and silver thing?
Yeah, why?
He's at the curtain like, what's my name? Like, they'll announce you as something. He's walking in the alley and goes, Blackmailer. Like, what the fuck? That's why you only heard it once. So here's a question. I'm interested to see how you answer this, because I gave the wrong answer for a long, long time. But at Clash of the Champions Guts and Glory, which we will be watching here in the months to come, Ranger Ross took on a masked man called the Terrorist. Who was the Terrorist?
Well, I'm guessing since you're asking now, it's not Jack Victory.
But did you always assume it was Jack Victory as I had?
Probably. But hold on, if I have to guess who's under the mask and it's not Jack Victory, it's probably a little late to be Gene Ligon. I'm going to go with George South.
No.
Yeah.
You give up?
Let me have one more guess here. Shit. Who was the other ding now? Sartain. Richard Sartain.
No.
All right. I give up.
You're very cold.
All right. I give up then.
Dangerous Doug Gilbert.
Oh, no shit.
Eddie was doing some of the booking then, and Doug showed up, and they decided they needed an opponent for Ranger Ross that needed to be Ranger Ross appropriate, you know. So they find him some camo shit to put on, but they don't have a mask. And I always noticed this, even as a kid. I noticed this, and I asked Doug once I found out it was Doug. We talked about it on the podcast. So what they did for a mask for the terrorist, they took the Great Muda's entrance mask that he wore out for his entrance and took white athletic tape and taped it around his neck so it wouldn't fly off. Like, you go, as soon as we get done, you go pull up Clash of Champions Guts and Glory, and you will see that Doug Gilbert has a Great Muda entrance mask taped to his head with a white athletic tape of all things. And he's like, dude, it was 1,000 degrees in that damn building that night. It was in June or July. I think it was in June. He says, 1,000 degrees. They pile all this camo on me, and then they tape Great Muda's mask on my head. He said, I thought I was going to have a heat stroke before I ever got to the ring. He's like, I was so glad when that dude super kicked me or combat kicked me or whatever he called that shit. He said, I couldn't wait to get pinned and get the hell out of that outfit. I was like, God, I can imagine.
Oh, that's spectacular.
And this is coming from a guy who goes to Japan and wrestles in sweaters and Freddy Krueger masks, 6 months out of the year later on.
Because when I think of a terrorist, the first thing I think of is the Great Muda.
Yeah, some guy in a Great Muda mask. He's so terrorizing, he stole the Great Muda's mask. And just to make sure Muda didn't snatch it back off his head, he taped it around his neck real good so it would stay. I was like, this ain't some house show in bumfuck North Carolina. Like, this was a Clash of the Champions, and he went out there looking like some broke ass fucking indie guy. It's so funny. But I just assumed, because of the build, I just always assumed it was Jack Victory. And then I said something about about some of the names he'd come in and used in WCW. He said, yeah, and the terrorist. I was like, when was you the terrorist? He's like, on that Clash of the Champions. I was like, that was you? He's like, yes. I was like, I thought it was Jack Victory. He goes, everybody thinks it was Jack Victory. And he goes, and honestly, I'd be fine if they did think that. He said, it wasn't my shining moment or anything, but
Speaking of Jack Victory, Lex is now no-selling all of his offense, so this must be about over.
Oh, yeah. He's getting in warrior mode here as we start dealing out the clotheslines like they're going out of style. It's so funny. This is kind of spoiling something or jumping ahead, but like Jack Victory as Jack Victory at whatever pay-per-view it is, maybe the next one we're going to watch, Chi-Town Rumble. He actually wrestles as one of the original Midnight Express in just the tights. He doesn't have the top and the mask on, but he's wearing those silver, black, and red tights like just a couple of weeks after he'd wore them on the Clash. Which I thought was funny even back then. Hey, Monday, February the 20th. So it's only going to be, what did we say? What was this? The 6th?
6 days later?
16th. So, yeah, it's just a few days later.
Relive the glory days of Memphis wrestling with the Retro Wrestling Review USWA podcast. Each week, we go back in time to review USWA Championship Wrestling from the 1990s, episode by episode. Join us for watch-alongs, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive interviews with people who were there and lived it. Whether you grew up watching it or you're discovering it for the first time, this podcast is your ringside seat to Memphis wrestling history. It's all a part of the WrestleCopia Podcast Network. Listen now at USWApodcast.com.
Hey guys, Ray Russell here. Lots of new stuff happening here at WrestleCopia. If you haven't checked out our website at WrestleCopia.com, it's a great way to keep up with the latest episodes of all of your favorite Copia programming, from the Wrestling Memory Grenade to Regional Wrestling with the Territory Talk, the Wrestling Stoop with the legendary Bob Roop, and of course all of those programs also available at your favorite podcast streaming platforms. And if you want to stay up to date with everything going on in the Copia world, all the latest news, random thoughts, fun videos, pictures, and more, make sure to join the more than 33,000 followers over at facebook.com/Wrestling Grenade. Don't be left out. And last but definitely not least, it's what keeps the entire machine going. I'm talking about patreon.com/WrestleCopia. We appreciate your support in helping us pay the bills to keep the WrestleCopia podcast network running and enabling us to continue to bring you all the quality programming that we offer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, the podcast that's based on the old school but can still help you find the good stuff from today. Jimmy Street and the Plastic Chic, Jared, are the undisputed tag team champions of the wrestling podcast world. From thought-provoking topics to superstar interviews to action figure expertise, this team does it all. And all they ask is, give me back my pro wrestling! Every other Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Tired of the same boring wrestling podcast? Need something with attitude, chaos, and maybe just a little cussing? That's STSpod.club, and we got it all covered. We've got wrestling weirdness with WTF News Desk, 5-minute time limit, and the Southern Fried Brain of me, BT, stirring the whole ship. We also have rolling into Memphis every week about the current Memphis wrestling. Interviews, hot takes, and wrestling outrageousness so wild it might get you banned in 12 states. That's right, it's SDSpod.club, or search all podcast catchers for Shooting the Shiznit, where wrestling podcasts grow chest hair. Not sure what that meant. Love my mama.
Which I guess is why they didn't load the card here, because we're going into a pay-per-view. Here we go. Fantastic versus the Varsity Club, who are the U.S. Tag Team Champions. Bob Caudle's in a stairway here. There's Rick Steiner, Michael Hayes.
What the hell is this team?
I can't get this man to drink. I tried to get him to drink some whiskey. He won't do it. This is when Rick Steiner played borderline retarded at that point. I think he still draws the. Yep, there it is on his hand. He's drawing the face on his hand that he talked to.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, what was that? Alex.
Sure.
Yeah, I called it Alex for whatever reason.
From Stroh's.
Jim Ross said it was because Killer Carl Cox, with the unfortunate initials he had, used to have a face drawn on his hand that was named Alex, and Rick Steiner took that from him. And I thought, wow, I didn't know even back in those days you did silly shit like draw pictures on your hand. And Dr. Death, very proud of his U.S. Tag Team title, putting it right in both of the Fantastics' face.
Oh, the Varsity Club.
Tundo's like, come on, Steve, act like you've had a fucking belt before, dude. Now, I'm not going to lie. I never gave two shits about Mike Rotundo from the time he tagged with Barry Windham as WWE Tag Team Champions through Mike Rotundo, the random dull babyface in NWA, to Captain Mike Rotundo of the Varsity Club, to Captain Mike Rotundo, the ship captain that he suddenly morphed into, all the way to Erwin R. Shyster and any point in between. Not saying he's not a good worker. He is.
Keep going. You still got gimmicks to cover.
Let's see. IRS. Rotundo?
Michael Wall Street.
Oh, yeah. Michael Wall Street. VK Wall Street. Which was more on the nose Vince McMahon mockery there. I liked Michael Wall Street better than perhaps any of those, just because I thought at the time the computer gimmick with Alexandra York was actually kind of unique for the time, because that was before Taylor, and then they had a whole team of it was just a heel group where you just made everybody's name fancier, Terrence, Thomas, Richard, and
does that make you Eugene Jackson?
I guess I'd have to be if I was to join the York Foundation. I told Tommy, because we brought back the Memphis Mafia this year, their old gimmick from Memphis. I was like, well, next year we got to bring back the York Foundation, and he's going to be Douglas Gilbert, and you're Thomas Rich, and I'll be Eugene Jackson. And Tommy's like, get the shirts made. Let's go.
Spectacular.
It's like, all right, let me call Mr. Hughes.
I say you could call Terry Taylor, but he'd probably just stooge you out to someone.
Oh, he would, yeah. He would try to get us sued by somebody. They're trying to use the name. And poor old Alexandra York, these last couple of years, is finally starting to look her age. Holy.
Yeah.
I seen a picture from somebody had posted a bunch of pictures from a recent convention. I was scrolling through, and I was like, what's that, his grandma? And I'm like, oh shit, that's Marlena. Bless her heart. Like, oh, well, happens to the best of us.
It does. But yeah, back to your hatred of Mike Rotunda, man. Like, the Varsity Club seems to be this gimmick that people from our generation look back on with fondness. And I don't get it. I love me some Doc. You love you some Doc. Everybody loves them some Doc. But like you said, Rotunda is fucking white bread with a side of fucking white bread. And I mean, Dan Spivey was in it for a while, and I mean, hey, it's Dan Spivey.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
That's a stretch that we're going to play him up as some varsity athlete.
And he's the guy that replaced Barry Windham when he left, and he's tall, and he does some moves. And I mean, people seem to like Waylon Mercy for some reason, like the prototype Bray Wyatt. Dan Spivey was never fucking great. And then Rick Steiner was in it for a while. And I mean, I have no issue with Rick Steiner. And then for some reason, the guy who's leading the Varsity Club is fucking the Games Master, Kevin Sullivan, who didn't change his gimmick whatsoever. He's still like, I'm an evil guy, but I'm managing a bunch of jocks. Like, what the fuck? This gimmick is stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for saying that, because that's what nobody points out is like, he's the Games Master, Kevin Sullivan, but still wearing his evil robe, and he's spiking people with his golden spike and all this shit.
He's still cutting his fucking fucking a Buddha Dame promo bullshit.
Yeah, Tree of Woe and all that horse shit. Like, yeah, I've never understood that, but yes, there is a whole bunch of people in our age range that have this love for the Varsity Club. I didn't have it then. I don't have it now when I go back and watch it. It's not like I missed something back then.
And I mean, like, you take Sullivan out of the equation, and you just have okay, here's a bunch of jock athletes and they're douchebags together. Like, okay, like they wouldn't have been my favorites, but there wouldn't have really been anything wrong with the gimmick per se. But like, Sullivan being there makes zero sense. Fucking none. Like, yeah, you have okay, he's Oklahoma and he's Syracuse and Steiner's Michigan and Dan Spivey's tall guy or whatever the fuck. Like it could have worked, but Spivey really shouldn't have been there, and fucking Sullivan just makes no sense. None whatsoever. You put him in a fucking suit and call him the principal or something, okay, but when he doesn't change his gimmick whatsoever, it just doesn't work.
All right, I'm gonna hit you with a hot take right here. I don't know how you're gonna like it, but I'm gonna tell you right now, who could have came in to head this group, and it would have worked, and it would have made sense.
Oh, fuck you and your John Tolos.
God damn it, you know it. That's how you knew it, because you know it's true. Coach John Tolos would have been perfect for the Varsity Club. Come on now. Meet Dr. Death, and Mike Rotunda's been training all week for the Fantastics. I might look back on them fondly if they'd have had Coach John Tolos, but they didn't. So
I'd rather have Bill Alfonso and his goddamn whistle than John Tolos.
Listen here, Daddy. Dr. Death, Steve Williams is the Oklahoma Sooner, and Mike Rotunda's a Syracuse later.
Right, that's what they should have done. They should have just had Jim Ross fucking be there, man. They played football.
Well, they kind of did that whenever You remember they rebranded the Varsity Club in later WCW?
Yes.
And they brought in dipshit
when Ed Ferrara.
Oklahoma. Yeah, Ed Ferrara.
Hey, wait
oh
a minute.
My God!
Stop.
Sooner.
Stop for just a minute. That later day Varsity Club will always be in tops when they had fucking Kimono Wanalea and that tiny skirt jumping on the trampoline.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard to hate that group then.
Precisely.
But I'll be the first one to say it. I thought Oklahoma was fucking hilarious. I laughed my ass off at that shit. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know it's not funny to make fun of his Bell's palsy or whatever, but it was funny. Just because just how he mocked his commentary and his like overuse of all his
catchphrases. Yes. No, yes, if he hadn't been contorting his face, it would have been
yeah, you could have left that part out of it. It would have been perfectly reasonable, but from all the accounts I've heard since of what a shithead Jim Ross can be,
true.
He probably was karma on him, honestly.
I mean, I'll still take JR over Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara 7 days out of 7. But is that Rockin' Robin?
I think it might have been. This is what she's doing now, lobbying for a job. I feel if nothing else comes out of this Clash of Champions, I'm happy we had this conversation about Kevin Sullivan being miscast as the leader of the Varsity Club and what just a useless fucking group that was. And I don't hate, just to be clear, I don't hate Mike Rotundo. I just didn't enjoy any incarnation of him as a wrestler.
Right.
And I always found it funny that his son turns out to be one of the most well-known for character, like his whole shtick was being a character, and Mike Rotundo never showed an ounce of character his entire career. I thought that was ironic.
What Gene is saying is that he believes.
You
meant the other one?
Yes, I believe in Joe Hendry.
No, I meant Bo Dallas.
I know what you mean. I was just freshening it up for the young fans out there. And whoever thought IRS was going to be a fun fuck. I mean, I get the irony of it and pairing him with $1 Million Man and everything, but oh my God, it's like they made this dude a character and it's still bland, boring, vanilla, and just.
Oh, that was just so Vince could have the IRS get beat up because he had to pay taxes.
Yeah.
And it did lead us to that great moment in the Rumble '92 where Bobby Heenan, he's got him by the tongue.
Yeah, I mean, that was the only redeeming factor of seeing an IRS match. You knew if Heenan was on commentary, at some point he was going to get that line in. Oh, poor Bobby Fulton.
Did you see that backdrop Tommy Rogers took a minute ago?
Yes, that went horribly awry.
But that is half the fun of a Dr. Death match is watching him kill motherfuckers. So
yeah, you never know where anybody's going to land, and they certainly don't.
But they can't say anything about it because he'll kill them.
I hope we ride this train at least till 92 till we can get to the Doc and Gordy.
Get some miracle violence matches going.
Hell yeah, against the Steiners, because I was a huge Steiner fan and I had read about Doc and Gordy as a tag team in Japan, and then once they came over, and of course you could tell Jim Ross was just fucking rock hard through every one of those matches. That was like his wet dream come true.
Oh. That gif of Vince that everyone uses, that was Jim Ross in those matches.
Yes. It sure as hell was.
He was going Boomer Sooner in his pants. So.
Exactly. Because, I mean, he loved him some Steiners, but he damn sure loved him some Dr. Death Steve Williams. And
Terry Gordy was a hoss.
Yeah, he's a hoss. He's only one of them free birds that's a real man. Whoa, shit. Dr. Death. Thank God that wasn't a Sid fucking moment right there. Damn. When's the last time you remember seeing Dr. Death come off the top rope with
I mean, if it wasn't like a shoulder block. But yeah, I'd never seen him do an axe handle.
Wow.
And then Kevin Sullivan's there being useless in this gimmick. Sorry. I keep harping on that, but it's just so true.
Dr. Death? And that Boston accent. He's trying to be all evil and shit, but then sounding like a...
Sounded like he should be in a Mark Wahlberg film.
Exactly. The Departed.
Yeah, exactly. Sound like he belongs on Family Guy.
Oh, that's not technical. You can't do that at Syracuse University. Whoa, that was too close. Is that a dude?
Was that Willow?
Well, I mean, we come in way close on that one. That was unfortunate. It's so jarring.
It really is. Like they get close-ups of these. Like, is Flair in the back picking? Is that how this works?
I mean, if I was one of the announcers, I'd be like, God damn, like, y'all gotta give us a warning or something. Like, we're about to call a move, and all of a sudden, whoa, there's that woman's, like, I'm looking down her tonsils, like,
my God, she's hideous.
Look at William. Tommy Rogers tried his best to fight him. Williams just brushing him off. What the fuck was... I tell you what, he's a master improviser of moves here, Dr. Death. He just...
Has Tommy Rogers invented the Tamikaze yet at this point?
Not yet.
Nah, that's unfortunate.
I don't think that happened until he got to ECW. I don't think the world was ready for the Tamikaze in 1989. That would have been...
Probably not.
Little too... Oh, look at this. Throw him out in this crowd.
But you know, sometimes you do see... I know there's footage in 89 where you can see Muta use the cattle mutilation.
Yeah.
And freaking in like 87, Dennis Condrey uses Miz's stupid full Nelson facebuster move.
That is so jarring. Like, the first time I saw that clip, I'm like, holy shit. Like, that's the Miz / Jeff Jarrett stroke finish.
And yeah, like I said, the first time I was watching, it was a Muta comp, and it was a WCW jobber match, and he hooks the guy in cattle mutilation. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
well, you know, it's long been pondered and debated on, like, when the power bomb, like the sure enough power bomb, got invented.
Lou Thesz using it.
Starting, you know. Yeah, but I mean, in more... I don't know, as a finish and by people on any regularity. But like me and Ray were watching some old like best of the WWF video. Goddamn Judy Martin whips out a power bomb in like 1987.
Dude, those girls were using shit that nobody was using.
It's like, holy shit. And you know what? We got tickled because Gorilla Monsoon and Lord Alfred Hayes are calling the match. Monsoon goes, good Lord, Alfred, what do you call that move? He goes, I believe they call that the drip dry, Gorilla. Why the fuck would you call a powerbomb a drip dry? So ever since then, like, we try to work that into every show that we do at least once. Like, oh, I think that was the old drip dry right there, Gorilla. Oh.
Yeah, like, especially you watch like those Bomb Angel Glamour Girl matches, and they're doing shit that nobody was doing for 10 years.
Yeah, like people, and I get it. I was one of them, but also like all these people were like losing their mind when Liger came over in like 92 and him and Pillman opened that Super Brawl. It's like, oh my God, we've never seen stuff like this. Like, no, like Jumping Bomb Angels was doing a bunch of this shit in 87. Like, let's not, kid ourselves.
Yeah, no, those girls were fantastic. That's like, I know I showed you that Stardom stuff, but like I've started to watch some like older Joshi stuff, and like so those girls were doing shit in the 80s that like didn't become popular over here till like the late 90s. Like, who the is that? Bradley?
That is Bob Bradley, aka Battle Cat.
Wow.
Yeah, on the Clash of the Champions.
They're pulling out all the stars for this one, Gene.
They sure are. You know, when Clash of the Champions first started, for about the first 3, maybe even 4, but I know for the first 3, the gimmick was every match was a title match.
Mm-hmm.
And by now, that has gone by the wayside. Like,
oh, it's Bonnie Steamboat.
Like, this ain't even Clash of the Contenders at this point. This is just matches.
This is Clash of the Worldwide.
Yeah. I guess Jack Victory refused to do a third match, and they're like, oh, fuck, let Bob Bradley go out there, I guess. I mean,
do we have an outfit we can put on? No. We really wanted to make him the Card Shark.
Now, if I'd have texted you this morning and be like, hey, did Bob Bradley wrestle in WCW in 1989? What would your answer been?
Probably not. But
yeah.
I do remember when World Class was pushing Bob Bradley in 87. So
yeah. I mean, I guess your first answer would be like, who fucking cares? And why are you texting me this? For being honest.
I'd be like, I'm at work, Gene. Leave me alone.
Who dis?
Yeah. Yeah, new phone.
Who stole Gene's phone here? Because
why are we talking about Bob Bradley?
We ain't talking shit. It's like, you try to rip my clothes off like you rip Flair's clothes off, and I will beat the shit out of you. I'll slap your old lady, and I'll put your kid up for adoption. What do you think about that? Steamboat's like, hey, motherfucker, listen.
He's like, you can slap my old lady, but not the rest of those things.
Like, you can slap my old lady, you can put the kid up for adoption, but not the rest of it. Whoa, big wild swing that was never going to hit anybody. Oh yeah, the old handsome Jimmy atomic drop selling. Mercy! Oh, look at that.
I miss good old-fashioned selling of the atomic drop. Now everybody does the reverse one where it misses by like 6 inches.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the best selling of the atomic drop, regular or reverse. I want to hear what your opinion is on this, but I think you can't beat Rick Rude.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, he would sell it when it happens, and then a moment later, he would go for the hip swivel, and he'd lock up halfway through.
Yes, 100%.
Fucking tremendous. That's a guy that people, I mean, I know he don't get totally ignored, but he doesn't get put over enough. He's not on enough Mount Rushmores and people's like top 10 list of all-time workers as Rick Rude.
100%.
And I know starting out in 86, 87, he might not have been anything to write home about. But by the 90s, he was as good as any heel out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, Rude was, and that's the thing, like a lot of people like don't seem to give him credit, but you want to talk about a guy that could stooge off and be a, chicken shit when he had to be, and then be a badass 5 minutes later. Like,
he definitely was on par with Blanchard, like I was talking about for that. You're exactly right.
Yeah. Like, especially in WCW, like people seem to have a big, oh, Jesus.
God damn, I don't think that's what Steamboat had in mind, but okay.
People seem to have more of a fondness for his WWF run, but I'm the opposite. I think his WCW run was far superior. And I don't mean his Manny Fernandez run. I mean the later one.
I mean, I loved Vader as champion, and I was a big fan of Vader in that era. But at the same time, like, I think Rude should have been locked in as the top heel and got a lot more steam put behind him during that run, because I think he was the best heel they had. Now, Vader was a good monster, and I guess at the end of the day, he was best choice for world champion. But like, Rude getting stuck with the international world title and then having to lose it to Flair and all that shit, like, because Rude, I mean, that's tricky for Rude to be able to simultaneously come off like a total badass that you don't want to fuck with him, but also convincingly sell off, like you say, as a cowardly heel when he needs to. That takes some, some talent. And him and Steamboat here, I think Steamboat's matches with Rude, like that Iron Man match and everything, were on par with like his matches with Flair and any of other Steamboat matches that people cream over.
I agree. No, Rude had fantastic matches with a lot of people during that time. And
he made Dustin Rhodes look like $1 million.
He made Van Hammer look good, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and that should be his. That should be just like, and he's in the Hall of Fame tonight because he made Van Hammer look good one time, and no one else ever did.
They could put that on his tombstone, and I'd understand. oh dear Jesus, God,
no! God,
was that a bear?
That looked like Precious fucked a mongoloid, and that's the.
I was like, is that baby doll's sister that they don't let out of the room?
Ooh. What is Bob Bradley's just doing some odd selling here. He took that what clearly Steamboat meant for him to take as a flip on his face, getting slingshot over the ropes earlier, and
then he just about fell out of whatever that was.
Steamboat's like, what's wrong with this guy? I wish Jack Victory was out here right now.
Right? I wish I can't think of a good gimmick name to put him under that.
I mean, I wish at some point they'd have just booked a clash where like
everybody fought Jack Victory.
Yeah, every match was Jack Victory in a different gimmick.
Each one gets.
You can even leave him in that one. You can even leave him in that one outfit. Just keep changing the name.
Here comes the Blackmailer and the Black
main event
and the Black.
And the main event's the Russian assassin. So like, really changed it up at that point.
exact same costume, but you switch the mask to red.
You just throw that red Russian mask on. Sometimes Paul Jones is out there with him. Sometimes Hiro Matsuda is out there with him. Sometimes he's by himself. You just don't know what's happening.
One match, you let him work babyface and send Cornette out with him.
We're confused too, fans. We don't know what's going on at this point. They call him Mr. Midnight. He's out there with the manager of the Midnight Express.
Beautiful Bobby and Mr. Midnight.
Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful Bobby, and I think we all know who the other one is. The Midnight Express. Fucking Bob Bradley just did Steamboat spot on him. He did the damn leapfrog and hit him with the chop. I think he forgot who he was in this match. Like,
Bob Bradley's angling for a job.
Yeah, well, Steamboat, we're supposed to believe that he's going to beat Flair in Chicago, and he's having a hard time with Bob Bradley here. So
instead of doing a job, he's trying to get one. So, and the fucking turnbuckle's broken.
He's like,
you see that?
Well, I mean, if I go to WWF, they probably do something stupid with me, like put me in some kind of dumb outfit and give me like a kids show name or something, like fucking
Max
Thundercat or I don't know what, maybe like Battle Cat or some shit. They switched, like, was he first and then they switched to Brady Boone or vice versa? I think it was Brady Boone and then they switched to, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think Brady Boone was first.
Yeah. Kind of like the Conan started out as Max Moon and then it went to Paul Diamond.
Because he was done being an Asian guy.
Yeah, he's like, well, you can't be Kato anymore because you're not teaming with Tanaka, and it would just be inappropriate to have you going around pretending to be a masked Asian man without a semi-Asian partner, although Tanaka's just a dude from Hawaii, but
that's close enough.
Don't tell nobody. Here we go. Look at this. Oh, look at the dragon.
That's
what
the
a
move
maneuver.
that won the Intercontinental Championship.
That's right. Actually, he did it with a small package, but we can make up our own history, pal. Hulk and Andre never wrestled, and he'd never been body slammed either.
Shut up, Gene. I forgot.
I'm saying it's our show. We can rewrite history. Vince has taught us that over the years for sure.
True enough. Oh, no.
Woo!
Oh, boy.
Poor Sting.
Right. That's a lot of shit to carry on your shoulder. Well, they showed me the Western States Heritage title earlier. Aren't we going to get in defense of that?
By 89, that belt is long gone.
Well, it was still in Larry Zbyszko's.
It's in Larry Zbyszko's fucking closet somewhere by this time in 89.
It was still, what the fuck?
Rip fucking Morgan. He's not yet a New Zealand militia. He's not yet a royal family.
I say he and Jack Victory aren't a tag team yet.
Yeah, they can't throw Victory out here with him right now. So
instead, he's just a Bruiser Brody ripoff.
Yes, he's New Zealand's version of Bruiser Brody.
Start a line.
Oh, I can't wait till we get to review that song. There's some fun lyrics in that. As he barks and straps on his earmuffs.
This should be mercifully short, if nothing else.
You would hope, but if this one goes 17 minutes, I don't know what we're going to do.
This may have to be a two-parter if this goes 17 minutes.
We're going to have to take a pause and go drink a bit and come back and take another run at this thing.
Is Rip Morgan wearing furry boots? That's the real question.
He had the furry vest on. Let's get a look at them boots. Come on. Lower the camera here. Don't take another crowd shot. Let's just see his boots. All right, let's just. No, he's got regular boots. He's doing that weird dance thing he used to do before every match.
All right, so he's doing a John Norton impression and not a Bruiser Brody impression. What the hell is this shit?
He used to do that before every match at one point. It was this whole hit. Yeah, he had like a something like that he would say as he was doing it. He's like, oh, go, stupid shit. Oh, yeah, let's hear from Mike fucking Rotundo here. If
he's got the whole world. Oh, wait, no.
We successfully defended the United States Tag Team titles earlier against the Fantastics, and Rick Steiner, I'm going to be challenging you for that TV title eventually. I didn't like that you beat me for it. That sucked. Oh, I'm going to smile.
Hey, Gene, I have really good news for you.
What's that?
There's another Mike Rotunda match on this show.
Oh, God, what a swerve. Jesus Christ. Double rotunda. That's how you get ratings. That's how we'll get people to buy Chi-Town Rumble. You may get 2 Jack Victory matches and 2 Mike Rotundo matches. If you're lucky. Or you might just watch Michael Hayes wrestling for 27 minutes.
Ooh.
He's listening to his hand right now, and his hand's telling him, wrap this up.
Take it home, Rick.
No, nobody cares right now. Get your brother up here, stat.
They've already sat through 17 minutes of Butch Reed and Stephen Dane and a Mike Rotunda match.
Like, who the fuck is Stephen Dane? They're like, exactly. That's what we were thinking for 17 minutes. Like, I was just trying to figure out how Buck Zumhofe got on that many steroids, but turns out it's a different dude.
Was steroids the name of the kid?
He's Scott Casey's brother. Who? You son of a bitch.
Hey, I like me some Scott Casey.
I just want to say that's why I figured you'd be the one calling him a son of a bitch. Like, how don't you dare belittle Scott fucking Casey? You can shit talk Mike Rotunda all you want, by God. You start talking shit about Scott Casey, we got problems.
Scott Casey also had a pretty good book, if you haven't read it.
I haven't. I need to track that down. I've actually got Luger's book on a drive, but I haven't never been able to track down Scott Casey's. Yeah, I've got a stack of damn books over there that I need to read. It just keeps getting taller and taller. And I've got all this time. I guess I could be reading, but I do all this podcast shit instead.
I know it takes you a long time to sound out all those words. So,
well, I have to get my wife to read it to me, and she's pretty busy these days. So.
All right,
you can't really read. That's just to work. Big right hands right there. He's just kind of brushing them off.
Rick Morgan looks a lot like Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds.
He certainly does. He really, really does. Probably doesn't wrestle as good as Ogre would if he got in the ring, but
that guy actually did a Comic-Con like really close to my house recently, and I didn't go, and I kind of upset it myself. I really should have.
You should have. That would have been fun. Hopefully he still looks like himself. It's crazy, like when you see pictures with somebody and they're like, that's so-and-so from like somebody well-known, and like you stare at the picture for 5 minutes like, I don't see it, man. I don't think that's who that is, but
yeah, it was him and the guy that played saxophone in the Lost Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit, that's a lineup.
He was at something. When we went to that Joe Bob Briggs convention in Memphis a few years ago, he was there.
I mean, you got to give that guy credit. I was like, you were in that movie for a minute and a half, and you've parlayed that into a fucking 40-year career.
He's somewhere every weekend with that shit. And he's like, he was there, and he had the pants and the damn sacks, and you could spend like $80 or something stupid to get a picture with him. I'm like, no, man. No.
Maybe 15.
I mean, we got our picture with Officer Doofy from fucking Scary Movie or whatever it was, but that was like $25, which was Rosie's idea. But I was like, as long as I get my picture with the bunny and Danhausen, we can take a picture with whoever else you want to. Look at that belly to belly suplex.
It wasn't mercifully short, but at least it was short.
Yeah, 4 minutes and 40 seconds. It felt like a lot longer than that, but that's what they're saying.
It does also feel like an episode of NWA Main Event. Thank you for that logo.
Yeah, you see that for a minute. You're like, fuck, am I watching Main Event? I thought this was a Clash. No. Boy, this is a convoluted bunch of shit that's about to happen right now, Bob.
What, this interview with Sting, Michael Hayes, and JYD?
Well, I mean, they're supposed to be in this next match, but things are going to go awry. Maybe we need to turn the sound up for a minute and see what's happening here.
I got JYD going, and I got PS, of course, who's a pro with the six-man tags, by the way. And we just got a few things to talk about. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Because I'm too excited to even talk right now.
Did we have to turn it up, Gene?
So they're getting ready to challenge for the six-man tag team titles against the Road Warriors and Tenryu.
Oh.
That the six-man tag was never even invented until the Fabulous Freebirds.
I don't think that's true.
No, it's true, Gene. They never had matches with. Or maybe that's the whiskey talking.
Without my brothers. And I just want to tell you this, and And I want to tell the Road Warriors.
Yeah, he wants to tell you this.
You better be light tonight.
Yeah, I don't take bumps.
Neither
does JYD. So Sting, it's gonna be a long night,
you're in
brother.
for a long night.
Because I know they're no fools, especially Paul Ellering, and they're watching this, and you're not going to get any information until you meet us eye to eye.
They're like, damn it, it's the Road Warriors and a Japanese dude. There's no relief tonight, guys.
Sting, you're in a long night, buddy.
I'm sure he's saying something about every dog needs a bone to chew or some shit, since he says that in every goddamn promo he ever had in his life. Talking about Flair being repetitive. They're shaking poor Bob Caudle to death.
Well, not quite.
Well, not quite. It took a while. Well, they're going down the stairs that we saw Rick Steiner coming up earlier. There's a water fountain in the background. Bob Caudle. Look at this. There's a door. And for some reason, they went down the stairs, but then they're going to have to try to come back up the stairs. And they won't be able to go up the stairs, Bob Caudle. They're fucked. Now, why would you go down those stairs just to have to turn around and come back up them again right before the match?
Sting
Look at that.
Sting had to drop off his tank top.
Oh, man, dude. Oh, no. How ironic. I got fucked over by a chain. You can't climb over it, dipshit. It goes all the way to the top. Oh. That was the only reason I forgot why I turned the sound to begin with. I was hoping there was an explanation for why they go down those stairs just to turn around 2 seconds later and come back right after he locks it. I mean,
it was so they could do that angle, Gene.
Well, I know that's the real answer, but I would like to think there's some kayfabe reason where they don't look like just complete fucking tools, but probably not.
Probably not.
So, folks, our challengers for the 6-man tag team titles have been locked downstairs, and apparently Kevin Sullivan's the only one who has a key. No one has chain or bolt cutters. So that means the Road Warriors and Tenryu win by forfeit, right? No.
I hope so.
No. The guys who locked them down there can now just take their title match. The Varsity Club, Rotundo, Williams, and Sullivan are going to...
Sullivan!
Yeah, you can take your pick of
tag team titles.
The Grand Wizard screaming Sullivan, or my favorite was like during their big long feud every other week, you'd hear Benoit out there, Sullivan, tonight, blah, blah, blah. And then they'd cut to Sullivan. Benoit? I know you're fucking my wife. So, turns out seeing Jack Victory wrestle on this show wasn't so special because we're going to see Doc and Rotundo wrestle twice. It's kind of a theme almost.
And we have to sit through a Tenryu match. Clash
of the Champions double down here or some shit. Twice as nice. Now, of all the people, all the tag teams, and all the people on this show that you could have picked to have to watch wrestle again, where in the lineup, in the top 5, bottom 10, where would the Varsity Club have fell?
I mean, I guess third, since we've only seen... I mean, I put them above the Russian Assassins, but below the Midnight Express and the Fantastics.
I mean, I would like to have seen Bob Bradley, Russian Assassin number 2, and the Blackmailer come out here and...
Well, yeah, okay, that's true.
Clean house.
At least that would have been short.
Watch everybody figure that one out. All right, I love this shot from 4 miles away where we can barely even tell who's in there. What the fuck are we doing? Well, you can show them trying to get unlocked without having the camera pull back a mile away from the ring.
I just want to know who's in the crowd. We haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since we went to the crowd But I just want to see Animal and Dr. Death beating the shit out of each other.
Can we just put Doc in there with both of the Road Warriors and see who sells first?
Paul Ellering's in his wild safari stage of his career.
Are you telling me that Kim Chi is the Paul Ellering?
He definitely does look like he's got the Kim Chi outfit, and he just popped the mask off right before he come out there. Honky Tonk Man gave him a deal on it.
Yeah, I was saying, now I'm hearing Vince in my head all. That's precious Paul Ellering.
Precious Paul Ellering. I should have known. Why was Kim Chi carrying a Fucking what's that? The Wall Street Journal is what I was trying to say.
Sure is a snazzy dresser, McMahon.
Kimchi follows the stock market, McMahon. I love that reveal. Oh, that was so funny.
Oh, that's tremendous. Oh, look at Doc selling shit.
Whoa.
Even he knows better.
Damn.
Watch Sullivan's little 4'7" asshole no sell him.
Yeah. So he's just trying random keys. Nope, not that one. Nope. That's going to be them for this whole match.
This is the
We're not trying to cut
ring.
the chain or anything. Yeah. He's just trying random keys on his keychain.
They must not be in a building where they do modern day war games where everyone and their mother has a fucking bolt cutter.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody brought one in their suitcase just in case they need to get into the cage. Oh, here's the match you've been waiting for. Tenryu and Mike Rotundo.
Oh, my God.
5 stars.
I'll take that Blackmailer Bob Bradley match now, please.
Oh, drop kicked him in the chin.
I gave him a little Joshi fall on your back drop kick, too.
No,
I'd rather watch this than Rotunda versus Tenryu.
This is riveting right here. As I can't
try that key.
Security.
Try
that
key.
Security guy. They always name. Yeah, Doug Dillinger's just trying random keys on his keychain here for a lock that Sullivan put on it. So figure that out.
Oh, and Sagiri.
Man, you talking about the ultimate bait and switch. Like, we promise people now, as much as we can make fun of the work rate of Michael Hayes and JYD, these people are here to see Sting, who's like the top guy in the company, babyface-wise, and Michael Hayes and JYD, and they get another Varsity Club match. Like,
right?
And they don't even get to see the little picture. Like, we don't have a Titantron out here to see that they're locked up back there. We just think that shit's gone haywire and...
Sting has no-showed, so here, have some more Mike Rotunda.
Oh, finally. He's like, hey, this key works. Well, actually, no, I'm not strong enough to squeeze
Oh,
this.
no, he has bolt cutters. He's not. Well, just pass them through and let one of the big wrestlers use them.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Pin Michael Hayes behind the door. Like, hey.
It's fine. Sting's the only one in that group that can run. So.
Exactly. Show will be
Sting
over by the time JYD
run to the ring while the other two trot.
Michael Hayes like, I ain't coming out until they play Bad Street USA. So
right.
I got to do my little saunter down the aisle.
Sting can run, I'll strut, and JYD can trot.
He can hobble. Well, Mike Rotundo's carrying a lot of this match here.
Oh. Great. I mean, he was a perfectly fine worker. He just wasn't exciting.
Yeah, I mean, at all. So
he was
the Warriors are still heels here, right? That's why they were wrestling Sting and them to start with, because they had that.
No idea.
They had that. Okay, he's trying to whip him in the ropes as Dr. Death's holding him by his back of his pants. But, they had that ill-fated heel turn where they stabbed Dusty in the eye.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Starrcade, it was them against Dusty and Sting. And now they realize, okay, nobody wants to be the fucking Road Warriors. What do we do here? And they just kind of fall back into, I don't know if there's ever actually a turn per se. They just kind of ease back, like in this match here, into wrestling heels again. And everybody's just like, oh, I guess we can cheer the Road Warriors now. They're wrestling bad guys. Well, that dude's excited.
Mike Rotunda's just kind of like Tony Gurria, but from Syracuse.
That's pretty spot on. Because that's another guy that, like, is just, I mean, when you go back and watch old stuff, like, I've never seen him do one thing that I was entertained by or give a shit about. And he was like 50-time tag team champion with everybody that ever wrestled in WWF.
Pretty much.
But namely Rick Martel.
Another guy I'm not a fan of that people seem to love.
You don't like the model Rick Martel?
I don't.
You weren't a fan of Strikeforce?
No. Or the Can-Am connection. Really, you cut to like Hawk's biggest spot and you're just going to not show it? I mean, at least this match is over now.
That went terribly wrong based on how the position they were in when the camera did finally come back. Like, he was on his shoulders between Doc's legs. So that was turned into like a power bomb almost.
The drip dry?
It turned into a drip dry, literally.
Perfect.
It's a wild melee out here. My God. This thing's breaking down.
It's a slobber knocker, Gene.
They're literally knocking slobber everywhere. Oh, that was almost a disaster. I don't know if the titles are still on the line. I don't even know if we're still on the air, Magnum.
It's a three-way dance, even though we haven't invented them yet.
There's 9 people out here fighting. It was supposed to be a 6-man tag. I don't know what to say. Maybe we chopped him right in the throat, you stiff MFer.
All right, take it home, boys.
Sting just stuck with Sullivan through this whole thing.
All right, partner, let's go over here.
Come with me, Sting.
Into my dungeon of doom. I can't wait till we get to those days, Gene.
We can fast forward if you want to. And we can start with Dungeon of Doom and work our way backwards if you'd like.
Sullivan, bring me the Yeti.
And every week you're like, they can't introduce a character dumber than they did last week. And they're like, it's the shark. What?
Poor John Tenta.
That's the earthquake. What are you talking about?
Hell, I'll take him as Avalanche or...
It's the Zodiac.
Yes, no.
No.
That's Brutus the butchering barber booty man with no face beefcake.
I mean, it's comical how many fucking gimmicks just during that WCW stretch.
Right.
I mean, at one point, that man walked down the aisle, and the graphic on the screen and the ring announcer both said, "On his way to the ring, the man with no name." And he actually worked as that for like a handful of matches. The man with no fucking name.
Brother Brudi.
It just killed me that, like, clearly Arn Anderson came out in that black outfit and took out Hogan's knee at the Clash.
Right.
Brutus. He just butchered a friendship. All right, well, the Clash ended as we're talking about the Dungeon of Doom.
Oh, is it
there's
over?
a TV title. There's the tag team titles. I'm leaving on here for a second. Hope that we see the Western States title just for Bob. There it is.
Yes.
Yes, that thing was residing in Larry Zbyszko's closet for the next 30-something years. Well, there it is, Bob. We have witnessed
We made it.
Clash 5.
We made it.
St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
We knew we had to get through that one to get to some good stuff.
That's right. So next up, we got Chi-Town Rumble. I don't remember the whole card, but I know we've got Flair and Steamboat.
Yep.
We've got Luger and Wyndham for the U.S. title. Probably, I can't remember, but I'm thinking it's more Road Warriors and Varsity Club for the tag belts, probably. Then again, I don't know. They're U.S. tag champs, so I don't know. They may wrestle the Fantastics or something. It'd be fun. We had fun with that. That wasn't a great show, but we talked about some interesting things.
We talked about the Dungeon of Doom as it went off the air, but
Well, there wasn't a lot to talk about there because it's like, all right, the advertised main event of the Road Warriors and Tenryu against Sting, JYD, and Michael Hayes was nothing to write home about. Then you bait and switches. You lock them behind you lock them in a stairwell and put the Varsity Club in there, and then they come in, and then all the guys are fighting, and then it just kind of dissipates, and there's the credits. I'm sure if we were listening to the sound, it'd be Jim Ross going, "My God,
we're out of
control. You got to be there Saturday night, and then be there for Chi-Town Rumble. Oh my God!"
The tape machines were running, Gene.
Yeah, we'd have been equally as confused even if we'd have heard that. So we're just as well. Poor Bob Caudle having to interview people in a fucking hallway. I guess that's why I was wondering earlier. I'm like, wrestling was so weird. Like, now they have sets made and all this shit that are supposed to look like a locker room, even if they're not a locker room. But like, he's just interviewing people in a damn top of a stairwell. You can see a water fountain in the background. Like, anybody who's subject to have just walked through there. And it's like me and Ray was talking about that. We were watching the Hulkamania 2 Coliseum video. And this famous promo with Hogan and Orndorff And they're standing in front of wood paneling, like was in my parents' house for 35 years before they finally updated it like a few years ago. And it like Gray was like, Vince would never stand for that now. That Hulk Hogan and Mr. Wonderful, the top two guys in the company, are having an argument in front of wood fucking paneling, and there's like a phone on the wall back there. It looked like they were in somebody's house. Just, I don't know. I guess just production focus and things changed over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Previous to that, you didn't do shit back there like that. But goddamn, hang a curtain or something. You know what I mean? Oh. Well, folks, that is it. Clash of the Champions. Like I say, we'll have Chi-Town Rumble coming up here in a couple of weeks. Hopefully we get it recorded. We're going to try to get some things recorded next weekend and have some things in the can for you. And we've got another show we're going to be working together on. We're still ironing out the details of it, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I know me and you both have had fun when we do these and just over the years just talking, referencing wrestling music. Some of the fun, like Slam Jam to me is just that whole thing is just chock full of lyrics that just haunt my dreams at night, you know. So we're gonna have a little show. It's not gonna be a real big long show, but where we listen to a couple of those songs each week, and it's not all gonna be Slam Jam. There's a lot of them. When you get to looking, you know, when we started talking about doing this, I was like, all right, well, I'll start corralling up some of that music, and I think that playlist has got like 150 songs or something now. And I still forgot to go. I got to go back and get Macho Man's rap album, Be a Man Hulk.
Oh, do we have to?
I've got to get the Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Band album with American Made, and I Want to Be a Hulkamaniac, Hulkster in Heaven.
Oh, we got to get Heaven Needs a Champion too.
Oh, yes. And you know what? It just occurred to me that me and you have not even discussed throughout all this talk. Because I found a bunch of stuff, and then you were like, "Hey, we got to have With My Baby Tonight." You named off a few more. I'm like, "How did I forget about those?" But you know, the one song neither one of us has brought up till right now, and it just hit me because you said "Heaven Needs a Champion." RASSLIN. That's wrestling. That's the ultimate, dude. You got to have that because those the lyrics to that on wrestling. I came home and slapped my old lady or whatever the fuck is silly shit is he saying.
Oh, I just thought of something else we need to do, but I'll say it off air. So
okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
Are we going to do the things we liked and didn't like about this show thing?
Yes, sir. So
right.
yeah, just like we do on the USWA podcast, and like me and BT do on Patreon with the CWA podcast, at the end of the show, we're going to go through our likes and dislikes and different things. So let me pull this up here, make sure I don't miss one since this is our first time doing this. Let me find where I sent that.
I feel like I should have kept notes about what I liked about this show.
I feel like you're going to probably hurt your brain trying to figure out what you liked about this show, but I don't know. Then again, it may make it real easy. But okay, we'll start with, this is how we always start on the USWA show. What was your least favorite part of the show? It can be a match, a promo, an angle, crowd shot, whatever it is.
Can I just say the match lengths? Like, everything was way too long.
Yeah.
I mean, not everything, but God, there was no need for, hell, even I love me some Midnights. Them and the Russian Assassins didn't need to go that long. Butch and Stephen Casey didn't need to go that long. Whatever the hell the third match was didn't need to go that long.
Yeah.
Everything was way too long. That's my complaint about this show. You?
Yeah, I mean, this kind of goes along that same vein, but like, there's no fucking excuse for Butch Reed and Steve Casey to go 17 minutes on television. That would have been long for a house show,
right?
But on television, that was my least favorite part of this show. So that brings us to the inverse of that. What was your most favorite part of this show?
I actually enjoyed the Steamboat Bob Bradley match the most, sadly. Okay. And I know that's a horrible thing to say, but Bob Bradley's ridiculous selling, and I always enjoy watching Ricky work. So, and it didn't overstay its welcome.
That's fair. It was a little long, but I don't know. I guess I enjoyed, and I didn't expect to say this when we turned this show on, but I enjoyed the Lex Luger Blackmailer match for some reason. I don't know why. The fact that the Jack Victory for no fucking reason is called the Blackmailer, and he's not trying to blackmail anybody. He's never going to.
Not
he
that
won't
you're
even have
aware
the
of.
same name. Well, yeah, maybe behind the scenes. He may have blackmailed somebody to get that match on Clash of the Champions, perhaps.
Right? Maybe he was blackmailing the booker.
Maybe
Maybe he got Dusty fired.
Could be.
It was
We'll
that son of a
never know.
bitch, Jack Victory, Daddy.
Victory, you fat ass motherfucker.
Maybe that's why he beat the shit out of him so much when he was shooting with Carino in ECW.
Oh, there you go. All right. Third is MVP of this show. Out of
Jack
everybody.
Victory.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Or Steamboat's kid, one or the other.
No, I don't like Steamboat's kid. I'll say Jack Victory is the MVP of the show, but runner-up is Bob Caudle for staying in the ring during that whole brawl and I mean, most announcers, you watch them even now. Like the last AEW show I watched, some shit broke out. Tony Schiavone was out of there like that.
Does that mean third place has to go to those girls that came out with Flair because they all stayed in the ring too?
Yeah, they stayed in the ring, and I'm sure they probably had a rough night after that was over with. I'm sure they took some shots that and John Cena kid in the front row.
Yeah.
His fifth runner up. So last but not least, this may be the most anticlimactic one of these we've ever had on any of these podcasts I've ever done. For this show, Clash of Champions 5, St. Valentine's Day Massacre, is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Oh, I got to concur. Obviously, if I gave it a thumbs up, I would just be doing it to be contrary. There's no defending that show. That was like a 2-hour episode of like Worldwide or Main Event or Pro or a house show that they just happen to fucking have a camera there.
I mean, sadly, the only real, not that the Fantastics Varsity Club match would have been like a TV main event, and the rest of it all sucked.
Yeah. Midnight Express Russian Assassins would have been maybe like a Fantastics Varsity Club would have been the main event of like the Saturday night flagship show. Midnight Express and Russian Assassins would have been like Worldwide Pro, except it would have been half as long, hopefully, I would think.
Right. The Butch Reed Steve Casey match, the Lex Blackmailer match should have both been about 4 minutes long, as Steamboat Bob Bradley. And then I could have seen the main event being the main event of a Saturday night with the same schmoz finish, but that was not a Clash of the Champions.
No, and we're only at the fifth one. It's not like we've gotten 12 clashes in and now we're suddenly getting lazy. I mean, we're only in the fifth one. And like you said, Clash 1 went up against WrestleMania 4, so they were bringing the heat.
And it was a better freaking show than WrestleMania 4.
It was a better show. It was all title matches. You had Ivan Koloff on there, but they can't all be winners. But
hey, now.
You
leave Uncle Ivan out of this.
I guess they all run together. I know somewhere in those first four is where you have Luger and Wyndham win the tag titles.
That was the first one.
One of those, you get a Sting and Barry Windham U.S. title match, which was a good match. It was an inconclusive, some fuck finish, but of course it is. It's Jim Crockett Promotions or WCW. But I don't know. I was really excited about that one. I was like, Barry Windham and Sting, this is going to be fucking good.
And still coming up, you've got Flair and Funk on a Clash with the I Quit match. You've got, it's not like they all go downhill from here. This one just
Clashes are going to make a comeback. But I remember like the one probably before this would have been Seasons Beatings. And overall, the card was nothing to write home about. But the main event was the Midnight Express against Ric Flair and Barry Windham.
I remember
that was a fun match. That was a really fun match, and even Flair kind of got out of his comfort zone a little bit for that one. So I like to go back and watch pretty much just that one match. I don't think there's anything else on that show that I don't think we missed anything starting in '89 and missing that show. But no, Clashes make a comeback. Fuck, we get the New York Knockout with the I Quit Flair and Funk. We get the Guts and Glory with the Terrorist with Funk and Steamboat.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a lot of good stuff coming up. So,
and I mean, years from now, wasn't the Vader versus Flair and Arn handicap match on a Clash? I always had a soft spot for that match. I don't know why.
It certainly was. And there's a Vader and Flair 1-on-1 Clash match prior to their big Starrcade match as well. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff to come on some Clash of the Champions that I'm looking forward to. Like I said, this one was just kind of unfortunate. I don't know if we were recording
our starting point.
But yeah, it's an unfortunate starting point. We're trying to kick this show off. We're trying to build an audience, and then we start with this fucking Clash of the Champions. But we're going to move on to Chi-Town Rumble, and then from there, folks, we're going to do all the clashes. We're going to do all the pay-per-views. We may occasionally throw in some TV matches or something. It just depends on what our schedules are looking like and how often we can record these. But we should be back pretty soon with Chi-Town Rumble, and we'll see where things go from there. But I'm excited. 89, there's a lot of cool stuff that happens in 89.
Absolutely.
And from there, there's some interesting, fun stuff in 1990 as well. The rise of the Steiner brothers, and we get to see what life is like without Sting for a few months. If that's good or bad, but we'll relive the oh shit, we got to turn Luger again.
Then we'll get to 91, and I'll make you watch Battle Bowl again.
Whoo! Oh man, 91. That's where it's going to start feeling a little bit like Herb Abrams' UWF at one point.
Yo baby, yo.
As much as I love me some PN News, but as much as we give shit to Flair, when Flair left, there was definitely of course you got the whole Jim Herd aspect and all that too. But Wrestle War 91's pretty solid. I like it. There's some decent Clash of the Champions. I think 91's where you see a lot of those where somebody got the bright idea. What they should have had here is like, hey, instead of putting some matches out there that are long as fuck, what if we just stack this shit up with like some squash matches and there's like 14 matches on here and maybe 2 of them will be good. And I still will take that over 17-minute Butch Reed and Steve Casey match. So I'm here for that as well. And then we'll start having some skyscrapers here coming up in 89. Flying Brian Pillman's on his way in. Muda is on his way with Gary Hart.
The Funker will be here soon.
God damn it.
Goddamn horse.
I love. We will actually have to turn the sound up and listen to Terry Funk at the end of the Steamboat Flair match. I love how he eases into, I was just kidding about going ahead and challenge you and all that, Rick. I don't want to challenge you. And,
you banana nose son of a bitch.
And then the table spot that goes awry, and we're off to the races. So thank you all for listening. And if you're watching this on Patreon, thank you for joining Patreon. You'll be able to watch all of these things that we watch right here along with us on Patreon, plus all the content that we put up here. Like I say, we've got the CWA version of this show that's 87 Memphis right now. It's a lot of fun stuff there too. You'll see the cage match where my buddy Tommy Rich and Austin Idol shaved Jerry Lawler's head, and see Lawler and Dundee win the AWA World Tag Team titles when maybe it wasn't as big a deal to win the AWA World Tag Team titles, but I was still pretty psyched about it as a 12-year-old in 1988. I thought my home team had really done something then. And, of course, we've got our other Right Along Ringside watch-alongs, which is where you don't have to wait until November. You can watch Starrcade 91 with me and Bob right now. It was a lot of fun, and it's kind of what lit the fire for this WCW podcast. So if you want to see where this all started, you can check that one out. Strangely, I'm proud of that one. That was one of those where I'm like, all right, we're just going to do this for Bob so that he continues to do these. And I had fun with it. I was surprised.
I told you it's a great show.
I said it's a fun show. I didn't say it was a great show. There's great for podcasting. I'll agree with that. And it was weird because we're watching the show and we see Thomas Rich in the ring team with Ron Simmons, and then I get a text from Tommy Rich while we're watching it. I still haven't got a chance to talk to him about it. I'll actually see him at EPW this weekend. Him and Doug's booked. So I may pull my phone out and record Tommy's response when I asked him about Starrcade 91, and I'll either air it on the show or I may just send it directly to Bob. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get Tommy to talk about his fuzzy memories of Starrcade 91. But I guess we've rambled enough, man. Anything else before we wrap this one up?
Nope, I think that'll do it for us. We'll see y'all for Chi-Town Rumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tape traders and territory fans of all ages, if you're looking for the hottest retro wrestling content out there today, then brother, you have just wandered into the right place. I'm AI producer Smokey, your guide, your semi-reliable narrator, but most importantly, your friend, and I'm here to tell you about the retro wrestling archive empire that has taken over the internet one pile driver at a time. First up, we've got the fan favorite Retro Wrestling with Gene Jackson, home of the UWF Fury Cast. That's right, it's the one and only Herb Abrams, baby. Where else are you going to find a weekly show that covers a wrestling promotion powered entirely by enthusiasm, bad checks, and cocaine? And if that ain't enough nostalgia for you, we've officially launched the Retro Wrestling Review WCW podcast, where Bob Anderson and Gene Jackson break down 80s and 90s WCW, one glorious stinger splash at a time. It's crazy fun, it's ultra nerdy, and sometimes it's even educational. Get ready for 10 minutes of mayhem. For folks with a short attention span, or just short commutes, we've got the lightning fast Memphis in Minutes podcast. 10 minutes, one classic episode of Memphis wrestling or feature on a Memphis legend, all killer, no filler. And if you love wrestling movies, the good, the bad, and the how the hell did this get made, you need Movies in Minutes, where Gene breaks down films like Grunt, Body Slam, I Like to Hurt People, and every other cinematic turd that ever featured a dropkick. And if you haven't hit subscribe yet, here's where I talk you into the building. The Retro Wrestling Archive YouTube channel has thousands of hours of territory wrestling, classic matches, rare footage, podcasts, reviews, deep dives, and more. It's the wrestling tape collection you always wanted but didn't have room for in your house. Now let me talk turkey. If you want to support the show and get way more content for very little money, jump over to patreon.com Retro Wrestling Archive. For just $5, you get everything a full week early, plus Patreon exclusive content you can't get anywhere else. Such as Hot Mics, the wild uncensored USWA podcast post-show, plus ride-along ringside with hilarious watch-alongs and commentary. The Patreon exclusive Retro Wrestling Review CWA podcast with me, and Brian Trammell, and tons more bonus chaos, stories, behind-the-scenes nonsense, and surprises for just $5. That's less than a gas station chicken sandwich, and it won't even make you sick. And while we're at it, head over to substack.com/Retro Wrestling Archive. That's where you'll find all our retro wrestling articles, historical deep dives, and written goodness, plus the audio versions of every Retro Wrestling Archive podcast. It's your one-stop shop for wrestling nostalgia in both text and sound. What are you waiting for? Subscribe now, do it, lady.